Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a cloudy, overcast day here in Austin, Texas. And honestly, folks, I'm hoping we get some rain. And with that being said, I am going to be your moderator today. And in today's session, Roger's going to be covering a range of important topics, including his midday market analysis and his updated stock watch list for this afternoon. He's also going to share with us how he day trades, swing trades, and scalps the markets. He's going to give us a review on relative strength, what it is, and why it's so important in his decision-making process. He's also then going to give us the favorite tool that he uses finding stocks with relative strength and the setups he looks for on day trades, swing trades, and scalps. And finally, folks, he's going to give us his best recommendations on the options that you should use depending on the type of trade that you take. Now, folks, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And also, folks, we've opened up the chat to everyone, but remember we have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever. And keep that kind of chit chat between one or two members, to a minimum, because all it does is interfere with the rest of us that are trying to listen and learn from the information that Roger is sharing. Because remember, folks, he's here to give us an edge in the markets and to help us all become much more consistent and confident in our trading activities. Now, if you were with us this morning for Roger's pre-market must-watch show, you'll note that there were several catalysts that we needed to be aware of. Right off the bat, West Texas crude was down 7% when we opened up the room this morning at $93 a barrel, and it was down as much as 12% in overnight trading at $88 a barrel. We also noted on the international front that the Euro stocks came in at about up 2%. The Shanghai markets were open after a lengthy holiday period, up 1%, and the Nikkei markets remained closed for ongoing Labor Day holidays. So we did have some tailwind coming in to our open. On the tech front, we noted that SMCI came in up a whopping 14%. On the other hand, though, ANET was down 9%. On the chip front, this is where all the stars were, folks. AMD was up 18%. Intel was up 6%. Micron was up 5%. SanDisk was up 4%. So earnings on the chip front, that information just driving things. As far as the Fed is concerned, we did have a couple of reports that we needed to be aware of. We had ADP employment data coming out. We also had crude oil inventories being released, and we have two FOMC speakers that are going to be giving presentations during today's trading session. Now, as far as those S&P 500 stocks that were scheduled to release their earnings before market open, on the healthcare front, we noted that CVS was going to release earnings. In utilities, EXC. On the tech front, Uber. And on the consumer front, Disney, Marriott, and Kraft Heinz. All of these S&P 500 companies would be releasing their earnings before market open. Now, several people have always asked, so Raleigh, what's with these catalysts? Why should we care? Why should we pay attention? Well, from Roger's perspective, anytime that there's information that's either known or will become known during today's trading session, but is not yet priced in the market, well, that's a volatility flashpoint. And from that perspective, if we're looking at taking a position in a stock or looking at a sector where there's a flashpoint, well, that might give us cause for pause. Now, as far as Roger's pre-market stock watch list is concerned, he shared with us 17 tickers that he was looking at, 9 on the short side and 8 on the long side. On the long side, you'll note the Dell here was underlined because as Roger was going through each one of these tickers, he commented several times how much he liked Dell. Now, I want to give you some perspective on this list here. This is a watch list. This is not a recommendation from Roger to go out out and buy or invest in these stocks. What it means is that before the market opened, he took a look at what was happening and he identified these 17 tickers as having the potential to be stocks that he might want to trade. And if he selected any of these stocks, more than likely, he would post that in the trading pit or in another one of his premium alert services. Now, as far as his pre open analysis was concerned, we did note that the futures markets were up strong across the board, largely on peace optimism and the impact that that was having on lower crude oil prices. We did see that the put to call ratio was in balance, so almost perfectly balanced between puts and calls, and that the VIX had actually moved lower below the 16 level. So nice movement there in favor of a market move. Now, as far as the SPY and the QQQ and the SMH were concerned, they were all up, really almost at record highs, but once again remain, in Roger's opinion, overextended on a technical basis, driven by just great earnings. As far as the longer term trend is concerned, we noted that things were kind of level, about the same as they were yesterday. 54% of the S&P 500 companies were above their 200-day moving average, and 55% of the NASDAQ 100 were above their 200-day moving average. Now, as far as the short-term momentum is concerned, it was falling, folks. We noted that 47% of the S&P 500 stocks were above their 20-day moving average, and 58% of the NQ 100 stocks were above their 20-day moving average. So once again, this is a little bit lower than it was yesterday as far as short-term momentum is concerned. Bottom line from today's analysis, AI investment is clearly driving the markets, and particularly, technology companies, chip companies, and even utilities. A big defensive sector is doing quite well because obviously they're building the facilities that are going to power you know, all the investment that's coming into artificial intelligence. Roger also said, look, guys, gaps are gifts. I love that quote. And from his
Oh,
perspective,
okay.
he says, look, this is a great time to basically take profits on your long positions. Once again, because the gaps are gift, but we need to be careful because once again, things are overextended, and Roger still does feel that it would be perfectly natural for some of our key markets, and particularly the SP, the SPY, the QQQ, and the SMH, to basically retrace back to their 8-day moving average. Now, that's not a market crash by any stretch. That's just a small correction, and he still believes that that's going to occur. Now, as far as Roger's agenda today, he's got a great agenda on tap. As always, he's going to begin by giving us his midday market analysis and his updated stock watch list. And then he's going to talk to us today about how he day trades, how he swing trades, and how he scalps the markets. Once again, this is how Roger trades the markets. He's going to give us a review as to what relative strength is and why it's important. He's going to talk about his favorite tool for finding stocks that have relative strength, and he's going to share with us the setups that he looks for when he's looking at a potential day trade, swing trade, and scalp. And finally, he's going to give us his recommendations on the best option type to take for each of these trade types. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And remember, folks, that I have opened up the chat to everyone and we have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your posts. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever. And keep that, chit chat between one or two members to a minimum, because all it does is interfere with the rest of us that are trying hard to listen and learn from the information that Roger is sharing, because after all, he is here to give us an edge in the markets and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, folks, let's say hi to the team. Matt, it's great to see you, buddy. I'm just going by your coloring. It looks like you're feeling a little bit better.
I am.
Excellent. That's good news. And Roger, always great to see you. I know you're in the office because we got the beach scene in the background.
Yes. Yes, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing just great, Roger. I am doing fantastic. And once again, just really just intrigued is the wrong word, but it's the only word I can come up with what we see going on in the markets. I
It's
mean,
crazy.
I
It's
woke up
crazy.
this morning, and I honestly expected to see like crude at 110. I don't know why. I just did because just the way things are just loosey goosey. And when I saw that they had come down as low as $88 and overnight, and when you opened the session this morning, it was back up at 93. I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, obviously, this is Captain Obvious speaking here. The market does continue to react fairly instantaneously to any kind of news. And in this case, and I think as you put it, there's a talk about a paper, potential, a draft, an outline. None of that really means anything, but the market's reacting to it. And I think, as you said this morning, until there's something signed, sealed, and delivered, and the nuclear issue has been dealt with, this thing is not over.
Exactly. Exactly. And folks, I just want you to understand, I have your best interests in mind. And a lot of people think every time I say anything unrelated to a ticker symbol, I'm getting political. I'm not. I'm
Mm,
this is what's driving price right now. If
right.
I don't talk about this, that means I'm not doing my job. I don't create the catalyst. Okay, thank you. I don't create the catalyst. I only reflect on it. I know it turns people off, but it's just what it is. And also to make things even more complicated, I have a legal background, so I'm a nudnik when it comes to words and language, and I'm a pain in the ass. So I can't change myself. I can't become a different person. You know, what we read this morning was framework for. It was exactly the same words they were using when we had the tariff thing,
Hmm.
and we all know how that happened and how it
Right.
turned out. So
And you,
yeah, so all I'm saying is till we have a deal, we don't have a deal. And I don't care who you are, I don't care what religion, who you believe in, I don't care about anything. That's just how life works. We don't have a deal till we have a deal,
right.
right? Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. And I just put in a couple more 2 cents into it because I think we're all really hoping that there's going to be a cessation here. We just don't know how it's going to happen. But when I think about Trump's visit in 2 weeks to China. And when I read that Iran had one of their top guys in Peking yesterday talking to China, and we know how reliant China is on the flow of goods from Hormuz, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Roger, that there's a lot of stuff happening in the background we may not be aware of that's pressuring
yes.
something here to happen. And I think that's also kind of grist for the mill, if you will.
Right, right, right. All I'm saying is there's no deal till there's a deal. That's it.
Yep.
I could talk about it for hours, but that's really what it is. We don't have a deal till we have a deal, and every time I see words that I've seen before, I'm like, oh man, we've been here before, and it irks me because I don't want people getting suckered into something because they think something is happening when it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, and here I'm going to take a little liberties. We all know that our president shoots first and asks questions later. That's his personality. Good or bad. Remember, I'm for this thing with Iran, but he shoots for he gets excited, he gets into something, and then so I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And if I don't know, how can you know? I just don't know.
Right.
And it's hard to make trading decisions when something is so up in the air. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. And if you're not
Hmm.
listening to me, then you're the ones that's causing politics to interfere with your trading, not me. Anyway, I got that out of the way. There was one more thing I wanted to get out of the way. Penny brought this up to me yesterday. We had a gentleman in here, and he mentioned something about it might have been in the morning show. I'm not sure. I don't remember where, but I want to clarify this. He gave a scenario where I was talking about this market that we're in, the SPY, and he said, how about we do a credit spread because I was saying how I think the market's going to go lower. He said, let's do a credit spread. And I chastised him pretty much. I was like, no, 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 no. Now, what I was explaining, and I gave examples like what happens if you stand at the end of a railroad rail track. Was this yesterday, Raleigh, or was this in the
Yes, it
morning?
was yesterday morning.
Okay. So
Yeah, and you basically said, it's an amateur move.
Yes, it's an amateur move. It's a
Gambling. Yep.
bad idea. If you would have done that, you would have been hurt right now. Now, for some reason, and I don't know why, a few of you took from this discussion that credit spreads are bad. Now, I did not say that. I did not mean that. I did not imply that. And the examples I was giving were applicable to what to the S&P as it was in position that day. And I said that's the dumbest thing you can do. You're going to get your fingers dirty and you're standing on a railroad. Okay? You're gambling and it's the worst thing you can do. And most importantly, it reinforces bad habits. Now, did most folks here understand that I was not talking about credit spreads? I was talking about any type of positions against the main trend, including but not limited to credit
Oh
spread.
yeah, I think that was pretty clear, Roger.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, Penny did not get that. Penny didn't get that memo. So she's like, "What?" So, okay, I thought so too. I thought it was as clear as day. But Penny, if you're here right now, as you could see, I'm just saying, just again, in case somebody didn't get it. But I thought it was as clear as day. I was talking in the context of the market.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, credit spreads do make sense in the right
They're
condition,
great.
but that's not the right application for it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly yes. What Raleigh just said. Exactly that.
Or you can call
Um,
me Cam.
no, I don't. I don't. I'm gonna. I'm telling you, you guys do not make it easy on
I'm the
me.
one with the goatee.
Oh, I'm telling you, I spend half the time. I spend half the day with your brother and half the day with you, and I'm thoroughly confused. I'm doing the best I can. So again, yes. So credit spreads are great, but credit spread against the high of the SPY yesterday or the day before, whenever it is I said it, would have been a really, really big mistake. But no, I love credit spreads. Okay, well, there you go, Katie. I'm explaining it just to clarify. If
We're
somebody
good.
thought I said it, I didn't say it, and if somebody didn't think I said it, I didn't say it either. I'm just clarifying it for you.
Sure, yeah, and some people have chimed in here also, like in the weekly cash flow, for example, that's appropriate for credit spreads.
Yes.
So anyway, I think we're straight.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, the proper trade would be to do a bull put spread, not a bear call spread. But anyway, just wanted to make sure. All right, there you go. Yeah. Just not against the trend. Don't trade against the trend. Is what was what I wanted you to get out of that example. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now let's move on. So the market right now, Volt is still going straight up. And again, the market, look at oil prices. It's going down. You know what, Raleigh? Just funny enough, yesterday, you and I were having a discussion and we were saying, imagine where the market would be, but for this war. Remember,
Right.
it was just yesterday.
Yep.
Because I was saying, look at how good the news is. I was like, can you imagine where we would be right now? I mean, literally, these were the words coming out of my mouth.
Yep.
I said, can you imagine where we would be right now? But for this war, with all these earnings coming out 3 times better than expected, the Fed data's coming out good. Like the market can really move higher here, and here we are. Again, but I wish it was on facts, not speculation. That's my only concern. You'd be happy to know that we took a winner in high flyers this morning, and we took 2 winners. We double dipped Nvidia, and I probably got, and I'm not exaggerating, I probably got 150 to 200 emails. I posted like 30 of them, and I think that's more than enough. But let's just say people love the pit, and we're going to be talking about the pit in just a bit. So let me take over my screen. That's where we do those sniper scalps. People love those sniper scalps. We'll be talking about that today. Let me do this. Let me just take a look at the broad market real quick. So we have another gap and go. This is fantastic. To say that we're overextended once again would be, we're just going outside of the green. See, look at the green line. The green line tells you when price is moving, getting overextended. It gets overextended here, right? But then it doesn't go down. It just consolidates, which is very, it's a flagging. And then it gets back to the 8-day right here. Look, it gets to the 8-day right here, and it takes off again. And now we have a really, really big gap. If you look at SMH, this is just like, it's like they've never heard of the word chip stocks before, They're finally realizing that there's no issue with AI, something we've been talking about for 6 to 8 months now. Like, There's no, the only problem was that banks don't know how to deal with them making so much money.
Mhm.
That's the problem you want to have if you're a company. And I've been saying that also since day one. So they're looking fantastic. We need to pull down. We need to cool off. We're over. The problem is, here's the problem, my friends, and I'm going to show you the problem. The problem is this: the way I trade and the way you should trade, because it's a good proven method, as most of you would agree, the market doesn't go up like this every this is not an everyday occurrence. Okay, this is very atypical, and this is not sustainable. We don't go from 400 to 545 without any kind of a pullback. There's going to be repercussions here. More likely right here, right to the 15-day where it's supposed to go to get oversold. But here's the problem this creates for us. Okay. Here, let me show you. Momentum levels are still good. We still have upside potential here. We only have 415 stocks, which means there's some market cap involved. Nvidia, AMD, market cap. Okay. But the problem is, look at stocks making 1 year highs right now. Okay. Find me one stock that's not overextended. And I'm not kidding. I'm not being sarcastic right now. I know I can be witty sometimes. This is not, I'm not being witty right now. I'm being serious. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Here's your base, right? Your base is the breakout level, okay? Look at where we're at. This one still looks pretty good, actually. This one looks pretty good. That's way overdone. That's on my watch list. Uh, every stock that you see that's not overextended is on my watch list. There's not that many stocks that are overextended. Not that many stocks that are not overextended. So you have a lot of this right now, and we need things to calm down back to earth. That's the problem we're seeing. Just too much overextended. Not enough stocks near the 8-day EMA. And that's a problem. And at the same time, you're still living in this world right here. You're still living in a world where you have 46% of the Russell 1000, not 2000, 1000. That's the biggest 1000 stocks. That's S&P 500 plus another 500 large cap stocks. You could see it right here. Look. See it right here. Alcoa, American Airlines, Apple, AbbVie, large caps, all the stocks that we trade are in the Russell 1000. Okay. Sometimes I use it as my watch list. Okay. You've got 53.68% above the 50. Look at this. Look at it across the board. We're in the 50th percentile. So there's a huge gap there. So you have a huge overextension, one of the biggest moves we've had in history, and I'm not kidding, one of the biggest moves we've had in history, and we have half of the index breaking out. That, my friend, if I don't bring that to your attention, I should be fired, okay? I should be fired if I don't bring that to your attention. If anybody thinks that's normal everyday trading price action, it's not. Okay? It's not. And yes, anything can happen in the market, but usually when you have a move like this, it gets this is where we should get to, right here. This is ultimately where we need to go.
Mhm.
Right here. Okay? So I know this is looking good. I know a lot of people think you're going to be making money indefinitely, but it usually doesn't end that way. Okay? This is the trajectory. Okay? I want to show you guys something right now. I'm going to show you something important. If there's one thing you're going to learn from me is learn the trajectory. Look at the slope here. Let me make this bigger. See the slope? See how it goes right here? By the angle, you could see it right here by the angle. You could see it. It's right. That's the slope. That's the slope right there because it connects all the dots right here. So you're looking at the average price being around here somewhere, right where the 50-day moving average is. This is where we should be coming down to. Now, I know that some of you are thinking, yeah, Roger, but this time it's different. Well, I want to show you something right now. And I want you to know something. I haven't changed this in months. I have not changed this in months. And people who have been here long enough know that. That's the trajectory for gold. How did I get to that trajectory? I took the slope right here and I drew a trend line on it. Now, Raleigh, is this any different than what I'm doing right now on SMH?
No, it's the same.
It's
Yep.
identical. I'm drawing you
Lower
a
lows, you're
slope.
connecting a series of lower lows, and that's your trajectory.
Yeah, and I'm
Yep.
going with the slope before it went to second gear and third gear. This is the trend. This is the main trend right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, guess what? The main trend is like somewhere right there, which happens to be right at the 50-day moving average, just like this happens to be. Oops, sorry, it doesn't scroll. But like this happens to be right near. Usually the trajectory will take you to a main moving average. In this case, it's taking us to a 200, and in this case, it's taking us right here. Now, to go from 543 to 440 is what I'm expecting. And again, for anybody who's sitting here going, yeah, this time it's different. Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, this time it's different, isn't it? There it is. There's that level. We already hit it once. It's not different. You think it's different. There's nothing different about the markets. The markets do exactly the same thing over and over and over again. I'm going to leave this here. And Raleigh, you may want to write down like, or just kind of put in the back of your mind, like the mid 400s. And
The
again,
mid
it doesn't
fours.
have to
Yep.
be exactly this number, but somewhere in this vicinity right here. And if I did volume, hey, Matt, can you do me a favor while we're doing this? Can you do me a favor and take a look at SMH with a volume profile and just kind of give me an idea of volume around this area right here, somewhere around 460 to 420, basically around here versus right here. Kind of give us where can you do
Point
that
of
for us?
control is. Yep.
Yeah, point of control. Can you do that for us?
Yeah, in the
Of course you
last
can. Yeah, just do that for us and just give me a heads up when you're done with it. But I'm telling,
it's
yeah,
not very clear. There's a lot of volume spikes.
but where's like the main area?
505.
505 right
Yeah.
here? Really? Wow.
Yeah, in the last 30 days.
No. I'm not talking about the last 30 days. I'm talking like the last year. I'm talking about long term. I'm talking, this is a trajectory going back to December of last year. I'm not going back. Huh?
248.
248?
Yeah.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
But there's a very close pocket at 400.
400. Okay, right here. Yeah, right there. This is the area. I didn't want to say 400. I wanted to say a little higher, but there's a lot of stuff here. There's no way this could be the high volume node of the last year. There's no way. It's moving too fast. Okay. But somewhere right here, folks. Somewhere here. I'm gonna here. Right there. Somewhere right there. In this area right there. Okay? That's the magnet right there. Okay? All right. Again, and yes, if SMA, okay, so let me conclude this for you, so because a lot of you are beginners. So QQQ, that trajectory is right here. Okay? Right here, here, let me give you a box. Or right here. That's your trajectory on QQQ, and on the SPY right here. Right there. They moved this for you. Right there. Now, I'm just going to leave that on here for a while, okay? What do you guys say?
I think that makes sense. And,
Yeah.
Roger, for those that are here that may be somewhat new, this is technical analysis 101, folks. All right. And a lot of people will be thinking to themselves, well, but Roger, I just read a report that, Anthropics is going to do this and they could be doing that. That's fundamental analysis, and that's kind of important. But technical analysis, which is what we're looking at right here, suggests that this would be, an appropriate reversion. It's not a market crash or anything like that, but it's a reversion. And we just need to be aware of it. A lot of people are asking the question, so Roger, based on what you're saying, how do I play that? Should I be looking at like a long-term put, for example?
As I mentioned the other day, the way I would take advantage of this is I would be looking at VIX calls that expire in 6 months. and or maybe VIX calls that expire in 3 weeks to a month, and just keep rolling them over. Because eventually, much sooner than you think, we're going to get something. Well, okay. Do you guys think? I don't know. I don't think that things are just going to end. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, okay, Iran, we have a deal. Nice to see you. We'll see you guys in 20. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a lot of nonsense, and it's going to be a lot of back and forth, and I think it's going to be a lot of drama, and I think it's going to take a good long time. And the market is expecting the best case scenario right now, because the market is listening to our president, as our president is saying, we have a framework for a deal. And here's the other question. What was the reason? They started an initiative yesterday, okay, to help the
Escort the ships, right?
escort the ships. The new initiative, I forgot the name. It was only on for, and in 24 hours, they eliminated that initiative so that they can make an agreement. Well, okay, great. Why not just keep that going till we have the agreement? You see, there's stuff going on that we're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, our administration has a tendency to put things in the most positive scenario. We've seen that before, like 100 times. So I'm just saying, till there's a signature there, until we have a deal, like it's a done deal, including nuclear, we don't have a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And be careful, because this is what the market is reacting to right now. And earnings are just amazing. And I'm not suggesting all of this is going to go down and we're going to erase everything. All I'm suggesting is we're going to come back down to earth. We need a good pullback. You guys realize all I'm talking about is erasing what the market has done in 3 weeks. I'm not talking about the low of the year. I'm not talking about S&P revising their levels. I'm talking about coming back to reality. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right.
And something else, Roger, just, as you had mentioned with chips, what's interesting, at least my understanding here, is that chips have been largely immune to what's been going on in the Middle East. It's earnings driven by AI investment. Has nothing to do with it.
No, none. And they have nothing to do with it. They don't care. These companies are just making money hand over fist, and they're realizing that we're going to have to put chips everywhere. And it's like a revolution because AI is getting more advanced. So we're having this. Oh my God! Every little thing is going to have a chip. Everything needs a memory. Everything needs a database. The world is changing, and chips are the ones that are going to be controlling it. Unfortunately, I mean, for lack of a better term, they're justifying this. And this is what I was saying last quarter. I was yelling. I was making fun of these companies that were like the analysts. I was making fun of what they were saying. They were saying stupid things like, the banks are too concerned about the business models of these companies because they've never seen anything like it. Who cares? Change your. It's like going to Raleigh. It's like you and me going to a bank, and we tell the banker, "Hey, look, we have a problem." Oh yeah, well, tell me, what's your problem? Listen, I got a huge problem. I'm making too much money. We can't. That's a problem. We can't help you. That's what these analysts were saying. Does that make any sense to you guys? It makes no sense to me at all.
Well, it's not obvious. I have some friends that are on the banking side. And once again, Roger, they're looking at some fairly significant outlays. And as bankers are, they're basically sitting there conservative. They're going like, okay, so tell me when you're going to start making money. Now, in the case of a chip manufacturer, they're selling the chips. The people that are borrowing money to put those chips to work are being questioned about their return models. And once again, as you know, because banks are conservative, that can create a choke point there.
Right. I couldn't agree more. But all in all, every chip company that has come out with earnings, which is what SMH is based on, has been obliterating it.
Yes, it has.
Every single one. So yeah, there's a reason for this. This is fantastic. But again, you know how volatile these suckers are.
Oh yeah.
One bad move, one bad report, they go down 3 days. They hit the 15-day EMA, and then they can. That's just how that's how they work. That's how they work. But yeah, they're justified. They're
Mhm.
justified in doing what they're doing. They are seeing some amazing numbers. Okay, let me give you guys some stocks that I'm looking at right now. And then I wanted to, we've been getting, so let me just go through the stocks and
Okay.
BSX. First one is BSX. BSX right here. I know it's the first time we're ever talking about it, Raleigh.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Yeah. And guess what? It's been doing almost every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a smooth ride.
Yes. How about ABT? You never heard of this one. You never heard me talking about this one
Yep.
before, right? It's literally breaking down right now. This is a beauty right now. I'm going to add this to my watch list. That looks really good. Okay, sorry about that. That's a beauty. Keeps getting. Now, remember what I was teaching you guys yesterday? As long as it's following the 8-day EMA, it's not overextended. It's overextended when it starts drifting too far away from this. It's still not too far away from this. How do you know? Well, is it getting close to this line? No. Just check the ATR right here. Just check this line. Are we getting close to this line here? Yes, we are, but not here. We're still following the 8-day, which means it's not overextended. Don't make this more difficult than it has to be. Now, what's up here? You've got a compression right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every stock tells a story. Look, you got a compression and you have a high volume breakdown right here after earnings. After earnings. That's a high probability trade. Here, let me add that to my watch list too. I want to take a short at some point.
Now, I was going to say, this is a really nice looking setup.
Doesn't that look nice?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing, folks. If the trade goes against you, right back here, you're out of the trade. You don't have a big distance. It's easy to negate these trades. If a stock is down here when you take it, and you want to use the 15 as a stop loss, you're going to be taking half the position size.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I had a talk with Nathan about this is the theory about how we size trades for quick strike. That's a really nice look right there. QDEL, similar look, just no high volume. Here, look at this. You can take this whole compression right there. We're below. Now, I'd like this area right here to be below here, which makes this trade a prettier trade. But that's why it's a watch list. It's but you guys have to notice these things. Again, notice how far away the oversold. We're nowhere near there yet. All right, CAH. Not yet. This has to break the 200. But I could see a nice consolidation here. Once it breaks the 200, keep an eye on this stock. It's got to close below the 200. Oh, excuse me. CTSH. That's a very nice, very nice look. Pod. Again, high volume candle on a daily chart. Still not overextended from the 8-day. Look. Not overextended. You see, are we still following the 8-day? It's not overextended. That's a nice trade. A little more volatility, but RSG. Matt, the garbage stock. Your favorite stock.
It looks like garbage.
It does look like garbage. That's a good point. By the way, how are you feeling this afternoon?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like you had one of those 24-hour. Oh, those are the worst. Okay, let's go to the long side, okay? RMBS. Now, I wanted to give this trade. I think it was Richie who found this trade. It might have been someone else or Richie. I just don't remember at this point. But I communicate with a lot of guys. But that's a very nice gap to green. The problem was I gave it to Matt to put into gap to green and option Nazi, spread Nazi. He's my option. He's my option Nazi. He doesn't let me put in trades. Too wide, huh, Matt?
All right.
Let's take a look. Let me see if you're right or if you're just jive turkey. 43 days out. 520. Yeah, and expensive too.
It's actually a little
Jive.
tighter
Did you
than it
say
was.
jive turkey?
Jive turkey. Yeah. Yep. Ah, I watched a lot of old movies, Raleigh.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm old. What can I tell you? I'm old. Amazon. Amazon. Raleigh, today's 26 years that I met my wife.
Oh, it's your anniversary. Oh, that's right.
That we
Yes,
met.
yes, you did mention that.
That we met 26 years today. We went on our first date. I remember her grandmother yelling at me because for bringing her home too late. I remember. I'll never forget it. It was like yesterday. Should have told her, "Look, I'm going to marry this woman. Let it be. You know,
Yeah, let it
we're
be.
let it
Back
be.
off, Granny.
Back off, Grandma. Back off, Grandma." All right, that's a nice look on Amazon, and it's still not that overextended. Remember, Amazon was lagging behind for a while, and it's not part of that whole. Bezos hasn't invented his own chip yet. He's copied everybody and everything, but he hasn't done the chip yet. That's next. By the way, I love Bezos. I love Amazon. I'm in love with this company. Nvidia, I gave you this stock twice today. We took profit on it. I really like this stock. I'm going to give you guys a bonus trade here. I'm going to give you the same trade that I gave everybody in the pit earlier that you guys made money on. I still like this stock, so um, you can go out. This is a bonus trade. Please don't email me and ask me for directions or instructions. But May 15th expiration, okay? May 15th expiration, 202.50, 672. If you want to do a spread, you can take this and you can buy the 672 and you can sell the 205 or 207.50. If you're going to do this one, you want to do it for less than a dollar 25. And if you do this one, you want to do this for less than $2.50. Okay? So $1.25 or less, $2.50 or less. Okay? And we actually had people doing this spread and who got about 47% on the move that occurred this morning, which was not a big move. So it's a spread. I'm going to give you a trade. I'm giving it to you, all of you here. It's exactly what I gave in the pit. It was my second bonus trade, and I'm giving it to you today. Again, we're going to May 15th, and we're going to do a debit spread right here, or we're going to do one right here, which is about $1.25 right now, as you could see. Or we're going to do this one right here, which is $2.50. Yeah, it's about $2.40 right now. So you could do either of them, okay? This one will give you more profit potential, but it's going to be a little more expensive. And this one will give you very little profit potential. I'm expecting this stock to move to the 210 area. So I am actually encouraging you to go a little further out. But again, it's a bonus trade. I'm not going to monitor this trade. I'm just giving you heads up. I just wanted to do something nice for you. Okay, Apple. Apple still looks great. Remember I gave it to you yesterday in the pit? We double dipped. I'm still like it. Every one of my pit trades can be a great swing trade. I would never ever give you a trade without it being a great swing trade. This stock looks fantastic right now. That is a fantastic looking stock right now. Fantastic. Fantastic. That is for a swing trade. That's just a mwah, beauty, 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 beauty. Matt, doesn't it look nice?
Mm-hmm.
That looks really nice. NBIS. This stock, I like this stock a lot. It doesn't have weekly options, and I limit sniper trades to weekly options, and it doesn't have weekly options. Okay. Why? Because stocks with weekly options usually have really good liquidity or better liquidity. Okay. NBIS. Google. I like Google right now. Now, Google probably be a good day trade, not a swing trade. Okay. Why? Look at how close you are to the sun. You're flying too close to the sun. This is overextended territory. This is overextended territory. It doesn't like to be statistically beyond these bands. Up to these bands like this is okay. Outside of these bands, no way. APLD. I like this stock, APLD. I don't really know what they do, but think they're a financial company. Yeah, they're a financial company. Because the name confuses me because it's Applied Digital, but they're a financial service market, so it's a
I
little
know.
it's a
Yeah,
it's a
you
little
would think it was a tech company or something. Yeah.
right, right. It's a little confusing. And then this one, I like this one. This is a fundamental technical trade. This is a fundamental technical trade. This trade is based on having a really good chart, very nice chart, as you could see, not being overextended, not being expensive, and also I think rare earth. Again, I don't think this war is over, and I think with all the drama with oil and all the drama the world is going through, I think this is a good bet. But I like it both if I just liked it fundamentally, it would be a no-no. If it was okay technically, it would be good. But I like the stock for both reasons right now. Okay, and that's what I've got for you for today.
That's great. But it's interesting, Roger, on the longs there, you got a fair amount, good representation from the Magnificent Seven there.
Yeah, and well, mags are not overextended. Mags are
Yeah.
literally that's a beautiful trade right there on the mags.
Hmm.
The chips are getting really up there, and there's a lot of market cap in chips. Think about AMD, Nvidia. There's a lot of market cap and there's a lot of money in these chips, but mags look fantastic right now, and hence, so just to say something here, I have a trade on right now. It's a losing trade in weekly cash flow. It's a trade that's going against us right now. Okay. Trades go against us sometimes, folks. We've only had this trade on for a few days. And I didn't liquidate this trade yesterday because of how well the mags have been performing. And I even sent a note to everybody saying, I still want to hold on to this for another day or two. I want to see if it can go a little higher because and the reason for that is because I really like the mags. And Netflix, remember, there's a lot of mag funds. So when money comes into mags, it doesn't just come into one stock. Just like the S&P, when money comes into the S&P, it comes into S&P 500 stocks. So when money comes into the mags, a lot of it is just going to go into Netflix just because. And mags look really good right now. Okay. And I'm also expecting a very positive report this Friday, by the way. And Friday, I know this week, I don't know where this week has gone. I thought today was Tuesday, but Friday is only, less than 2 days away from right now.
Hmm.
So FYI. All right. So folks, I want to talk a little bit about the pit. We talked about the pit, I think earlier last week or maybe the week before, and I had so many questions, so many emails, so many positive response. And most importantly, I did something last week. I wanted to show you this. You know how I'm always talking about my bonus trades, Raleigh and the pit?
Yep.
I'm always talking about those bonus trades.
And this Nvidia, trade that you talked about today that's a bonus trade.
Two of them.
Two of them. Yeah.
Two of them. They were two completely separate trades, like half an hour, 40 minutes apart. They were not related to each other. But I just want to show you guys something real quick. I decided to. Do you remember what day Sunday was? What date was Sunday?
It was the 3rd, I think.
The 3rd. Okay. Let me go back to the 3rd. I think you're right. Hold on. I'm going there right now. Okay, here it is. Take me a second to get there. There it is. I found what I was looking for. Okay. So what I did was I decided to go, and I don't think we started in February. I actually think we started a little earlier, but we really started getting into it in February. Now, folks, if you are in the pit, can you let folks know we're going to have a class in about 15 minutes? Let them know about your horrifically bad experience in the pit. Just tell them how awful, awful, awful it is being in my pit program. I mean, it's the worst thing ever. I literally got over 200 emails. I got 18 right now, and I just cleared the deck 40 minutes ago. Tell us, folks. I don't have the chat open, but please tell us how awful, awful, awful you've been doing in the pit. I mean, it's just been horrific, right? Yeah. So what I did around beginning of the year is I started putting Rainer says worst thing for taxes.
Yeah. Nice problem to have.
That's a problem to have. It's
Yep.
awfully good. The pit will never be the same. Yeah, just let folks know how much you hate how awful it is. So what I did was my win rate in the pit is, as of right now, it's above 94.7. We're like at 94.75 or almost back to 95% win rate. I've had one loser in 6 months. Most of those are swing trades or longer term trades. But what I've started doing recently is I started giving you guys some extra red meat. Why? Well, because I'm a nice guy. So you know how I'm always talking about my bonus trades. I'm always talking about bonus, but I never really get too deep into it, right? I'm always giving you somebody said 80. So I wanted to sit down. I had some time. Clyde and I had some time, and I wanted to see between February 1st and what was May 3rd. So that's February, March,
In April, yeah.
in April. That's 3 months. Okay. I wanted to calculate all of my bonus trades. These are trades that I give you guys that are not part of the pit. Basically, it's me just giving you bonuses. So on top of giving you a 94.7% unofficial trades, let's take a look at how we've been doing on our bonus trades. Mike, I'm going to have to repost that.
I got it, Roger.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to keep you out of the chat, buddy.
All right. Keep
Stay
me out
focused.
of there. Keep me out
Stay
of there.
focused.
All right. So we've had a 94.7% on our official trades. Okay. And we don't use any AI. Okay. There's no AI. It's just me and my eyes and Clyde, my cat. That's it. There's nobody. I don't allow anybody into the pit except me. So I wanted to see what our bonus trades would be like, right? Because I'm always talking about them, but I don't have a number, right? So we did a total of, over that 3-month period, Raleigh, we did a total of 71 bonus trades. 71 bonus trades. All right. All right. Bonus trades. 71 bonus trades in 3 months. That's a lot of trades. Wouldn't you agree?
That's a huge amount of trades.
Bonus trades. Now they don't even get part of the they're not even part of the equation. So I wanted to see how we did. So here's how we did. We have 71 trades in total. We had 13 losers. Okay. 58 trades were winners or break evens, and 81.69% win rate. Okay. These are bonus trades. They're not even part of the package. During that time, here's the interesting part. We did one straddle. We did a debit spread. We did a time spread. We did a strangle. So we did during that time, see how I'm giving you straddle, strangles, debit spreads, time spreads. All right. So you during this time, you got, let's see how many straddle strangles we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 straddle strangles. We had, let's see how many time spreads we have. We had a time spread here, and we had a time spread on IBM. I remember that. We took a loss on that. Oh, mixed, because some people made money and some people lost money. The ones that took it the same day made money. The people who took it the next day lost money. So it was mixed. Like I made 10% on that trade. And I know a lot of you guys did too, but the ones that didn't close it out lost money after earnings. So overall, if you just take the sniper scalps, the rest of them are sniper scalps. So basically, out of the 71 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's like 60 sniper scalps, and that win rate is like 83%, 84%. Wow. And those are bonus trades. So a lot of folks have been asking me, "Hey Roger, what's up with these cybers?" And especially with the day trading thing coming to an end. Ken says, if you want to buy a house with cash, join the pit. I love that.
Roger, once again,
I'm closing it.
Close it.
I close it.
Okay.
I close it. All right. That's funny.
Keep focused.
Yeah. So we've been having we've been doing really, really well. And a lot of folks are asking me how we do it. Okay, how we do it. So I'm going to give you a lesson, on these trades. Do you guys want one? A real quick lesson on it?
Absolutely. You're not looking at anything, Roger. You're not
All
looking for
right.
the
No, no,
chat.
I'm looking for my document.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my
Yeah.
document actually. Here, let me get my document out and let me get it for you here.
This is great. What he's about to share with you folks is just great for a couple of reasons. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it works.
Yeah, it works really, really well. I have a doc. I want to see if I could find it. If I can't find it, I'll just do it from my head. I don't need the doc, but I thought it'd be nice if I could come up with the doc. I put this doc actually. And I write so much stuff here. Yeah, let me see if
Yeah,
I can
and while
find
you're
it.
doing that, I'll address a couple of questions.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah,
just
yeah,
came
yeah.
up from Bob. He said, "Hey, Raul, I got a small account. Can I trade only calls and puts in the pit?" Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You know,
that's
the
the
standard trades that Roger issues are just buying a call or buying a put. That's level one options. And these scalping trades that he's talking about, those are calls or puts. You know, now if you want to take advantage of like a debit spread or a time spread or whatnot, you need to have level two. But the bulk of what Roger shares with you in the pit, you can do just fine with level one. And there was
exactly.
another question that John asked earlier. He said, "You know, Riley, I am nervous about puts. Can you discuss your strategy versus a negative versus a naked put, which is bad?" And I think this, so once again, Roger, this might be somebody relatively new that's just basically used to buying and holding. And the idea of going short is something that's a little scary. But buying a put is a straightforward proposition. You know, these are not naked puts at all, guys.
Yes.
You're not selling
Yeah,
anything. You're
you're buying a
buying
put.
a put.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry when you're buying a put, you don't have to worry about exercise, any of that stuff. You're just buying a put. It goes your way, it doesn't go your way. That's it. Nice and easy.
Mhm.
There's nothing else. Matt, are you short?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me explain to you what these sniper scalps are. Okay. Um, we're looking at intraday data. While I'm looking at intraday data, I still am looking at the daily chart. Um, I'm looking at the daily chart, and I want to make sure we're not near. So, in other words, if I get a scalp and I'm right here and I'm looking for a long and I'm right here butting this, I'm not going to take it. I still look at my daily chart, but I look for major levels like the 200-day moving average, 100-day, 50-day. If I'm not near the 50-day, 100-day, if I'm not abutting it, basically, I don't want that to be my resistance, okay, if I'm going long, or my support if I'm going short. So I always have the daily chart pulled up, okay? Always have it pulled up. I'm still looking at the daily. Even now, why am I looking at the daily even though I'm going to be in a trade for 15 minutes? Because I don't want to I don't want to bump one of these levels. Okay. I don't want to bump one of these levels. So that's number one. So number two, what are we trading? We're trading out of the money calls and puts. Out of the money calls and puts. We're not trading in the money. These are scalps. So let's just say we're trading NVIDIA, okay? And NVIDIA is a 204 right now, okay? Look at the delta. Look at the delta here. Let's say I'm going long right now. Um, that expires tomorrow. The delta here, it's one. So let's just go to just so you can see the delta. I'd be looking at right here, 205, 207.50. This is where I would be looking at right here, somewhere around 0.40, 0.30. Now, why? Because if NVIDIA starts rallying, the implied volatility, they have no intrinsic value. You see, they have no intrinsic value. They're all volatility based. They're all time based. So this is where the lottery players are, right? This is where the speculators are. And what the speculators do when they see an up move, they inflate those options like crazy. So you're not just looking for a move in the option, you're looking at the speculators trying to increase these a lot because they see institutional trades coming in. So you want to trade out of the money options for these scalps. Out of the money options for these scalps. Okay, out of the money options for these scalps, not in the money. Now, how does that help you? Well, your trade's going to be much cheaper. So, like Micron, and you're in the trade usually for 15 minutes, right? So you're going out 2 days out, right? You're going to a delta of somewhere right here. Well, you can go 662. You can even go. That's only $13. It's not $27, right? And you can do a spread here for $1.50 because it's a 250 spread. So you could do it for $1.50. Okay, you don't have to make this expensive. You could do a debit spread or you could just buy the call. You're going to be in this thing for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay. So what we want to see is we want to see a minimum of 2 high volume candles. High volume candles. How do we get high volume candles? These are high volume candles right here. When price is trading 25% above the 50-day moving average on a daily basis without any overnight basis. Okay. All right. And I programmed that into Pro Trader dashboard for you. The high volume candles and when you have high volume on each individual candle. Okay. Soon, very, very soon, you will have a dedicated scanner for the sniper scalps. Very soon, sooner than you think, but we're not there yet. So, and again, we're going to be trading them in the pit either way, so it doesn't matter. And we're talking about the pit today. So, so you want to be out of the money, 1 or 2 strike prices. If you're doing tech stocks like Micron, 2, 3 strike prices out of the money. Campbell Soups, McDonald's, American Airlines, Dow stocks, 1 strike price out of the money. Simple enough, right? Remember, our goal is not to make a lot of money, is to get the options to get inflated in a very, very fast amount of time. So here you have high volume candles to the downside. Here you have high volume candles to the upside. Okay, I've put this into the Pro Trader dashboard. Yes, price action is the main key. We want volume to be 125% of the average volume, and that's how the candle gets highlighted. Okay. Then we want to make sure we want to make sure that this is occurring, right, on an intraday basis. We don't want to get a signal here. We want to get a signal right here near the VWAP or near the 8-day. Why? Because we want to follow the 8-day. The 8-day could be a great intraday, could be a great intraday, not day, bar, 8 bar. It could be a great way to trigger these trades. And if it starts closing below the 8-day, we get out of the trade. Another way to exit these trades is if you have 15 minutes of sideways trading action. Okay? Another way to exit these trades if you have a high volume bar going the other way. That bar can't be a bar like this that's just closing in the middle. It has to be a high conviction bar like this. Okay? Now with time, you guys will start watching and understanding these. And I post all of these trades for you in a program called The Pit. Now, Raleigh, I have to visit the little gentleman's room for about 30 seconds.
Go for it.
You can maybe gather some questions, and then I'm going to give you a few more examples, and then we'll talk about The Pit, okay?
That sounds great. That sounds great. So once again, Roger is giving some information here to you that he posted in a document, and I am going to share that document with everybody here. Give me a second on that so that we have that information here. Where is that? I had it just a moment ago. Okay, so it's called Directional Trades for the Trading Pit. And it's once again, normally you might expect, that you're going to get a 30 or a 50-page document. Well, this just makes it simple. Okay, because there's basically 3 types of trades. There's the scalps, there's the day trades, and there's the swing trades. And, how Roger takes a look at these opportunities. And remember, in the trading pit, what essentially Roger's using, he's using tools that are designed to help him quickly find those stocks that are outperforming or underperforming the SPY. That's what it's serving up to him. And then he makes decisions based on that information as to, do I want to swing this? Do I want to day trade this? Or is there a scalp that's setting up? And it's a very straightforward process.
Yeah, it's extremely easy and straightforward. You can I do basically, so here's what I do in the pit, and we'll talk about this extensively right now. But here's what I do in the pit. I do swing trades. Usually I do them at around 2, 3 o'clock, like I'm looking for one today. Those I do at 3, and I do them pretty much every day or every other day. I do a bunch of scalps during the day, like we did with Nvidia twice today and with Apple twice yesterday. I think it was Apple. I do so many trades, I forget. Um, and then we do sometimes during earnings, we do time spreads, or sometimes we do explosions. Explosions is another name for spreads and straddles and strangles. That's when we're looking for an explosion, a market explosion, but we just don't know which way it's going to go. So regular day trades, when we look for pullbacks to the VWAP, those are not like scalps where you have to rush, and those use delta of 0.70, and those are trades that can become swing trades. Those I go, those I like to go 4 to 8 days out. But scalps, I like to go closest expiration possible. So if there's an expiration tomorrow, I'm that if there's an expiration today, because remember, you're going to be in the trade for 15, 20 minutes, and that the closer the expiration gives you that leverage. Remember, a scalp is just a quick move, a quick move. A day trade could be a longer term, a move that can develop over several hours or maybe even 24 hours. I call day trade like anything where I'm in today, out tomorrow morning. To me, that's still very active trading. So you got scalps, those are like micro trades. Then you have day trades, those are more like active trades. Then you have swing trades that can last 2, 4 days, sometimes 5 days. I usually don't go beyond 5 days. Statistically, if you look at my trades, there's not that many that go beyond the week. Most are 24 hours, 48 hours. And then I do a bunch of other bonus trades. The straddle strangles, as you saw right here, where was it? Right here, I had it. Here, right here. You see right here, all the bonus. So I do my regular pit trades. Those we have a 97 point. Those are usually short-term swing trades, overnight trades, or like long-term day trades, active trades. Then these are all the bonus trades. These are either scalps, the sniper scalps, or sniper scalps with debit spreads, which we do sometimes if the price is expensive, or straddle strangles. Those are your explosion trades. That's when you want to throw a grenade. That's where you're looking to blow up a bunch of people at one time. All right, that's I'll talk about that too. And then we do that, and then we do time spreads that take advantage of earnings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we do earnings trades. We do explosions based on news. We do debit spreads when the stock is too, like yesterday I almost did a debit spread on Costco. I wish I did this. Hindsight is 2020. So we do all of these type of trades. We do all of these type of trades in the pit. Basically, active trades, scalp trades, short-term swing trades, and like combination earnings trades, explosion trades, and that's about it. We have a good time doing it. By the way, this is a good setup on Micron if you guys want to do a off of the VWAP right here up to about 665 from here to here. That's a pretty good trade. I'm noticing it because it was on my screen. Now, I'm going to move on to something else right now where I'm actually going to be talking about the pit. Now, I'm doing this because we've had so many people, and when I say so many people, I mean like it's been like a revolution, Raleigh, since we started doing these scalps.
Yeah.
People used to, I mean, pit was amazing before, but now people are like, you mean you can give me these 94.7% win rate trades and these scalps? Like, where do I go? So we've been having it's been a renaissance time for the pit. And as
Well,
I said,
in a way, Roger, to me, it's a little bit analogous to how popular the high flyers is.
yes,
The fact
yes.
that basically there's some small cap stocks. We're not trading options there, but and those are very, very quick moves. They're technically, I would consider those to be scalps, and it's been very, very popular. So it's not surprising to me. And once again, people feel under the right conditions, people feel safe for trading scalps sometimes than a longer term swings, just given what's going on in the environment.
Yes,
The
yes.
idea that you're not holding something overnight, you're
No,
getting in
no.
and out quickly. Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of high flyers, guess what happened today?
I don't know. You hit it out of the park.
No, but we had a winner today again.
Oh my gosh.
Had a
Well,
winner
listen,
up.
Roger, a couple of things because one thing that came up before we
Yes,
shift, and I love this question because we have a
yes.
lot of people that are here are new, and some people can be bashful to raise questions in a room as dynamic as this. But Sherry said, "It's apparent to me that the pit is not for beginners. What do you have for a newbie like me?"
Um,
And once again, I get that if you're not familiar with any of the lingo, etc., but I'd appreciate your response to that
if
concern.
you're starting out and you want to take it slow and easy and you want to cruise in first gear, the Stealth Surge, True Trend, and A-Line probably would be your best bet. If you're like starting from zero, from scratch zero, like zero, 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 that's would be. But if you've been doing this for some time or you want to get into it pretty quick, or I call the pit my bridge from retail trading to professional trading. That's how I've always labeled it. For the pit is a program. Look, wait, why did I start the pit? The pit is how I trade. It's like me becoming an unscripted actor, okay?
Hmm.
Like this is me. This is me. This is me. Like there's no I don't have to follow any rules. I don't have to follow anything. This is what I do. This is how I trade. Like this is me. You can't get any more closer to be. This is like you sitting with me every single day next to me and trading. And what it's done, it's shown people that it's possible to make consistent money over time. Our win rate on our official trades is 94.7%, and our profit factor is over 8. That's the highest I've ever seen of any program ever. I spent 70% of my time in the pit. And as you could see by the testimonials we've been getting here, people absolutely hate it. They can't, loser after loser after loser, nothing. I'm being
It's a
highly
program for
sarcastic.
masochists. That's what we're
Yes,
saying
I'm being
here.
very, very I'm being very sarcastic right now. Okay, like highly sarcastic. Folks, why don't you tell others how you did in the last couple of days in the pit, just taking the scalp trades? And I think I get more testimonials than I have time to post. I literally need a full-time assistant, which I'm thinking of getting simply for the purpose of posting testimonials from the pit.
Mhm.
Okay, that's how bad it's been doing. Okay, all right.
So a couple other
Yes,
quick
yes,
things before we
yes.
get going. For those folks that are here on YouTube, this would be a great time for you to come over to the Zoom room because we are going to stop the stream to YouTube. YouTube does not like it when we do these types of presentations, so we're going to stop doing that. Secondly, I want to let everybody know because so many people were saying, how can I get a replay of this? Well, folks, this is a live presentation and it is being recorded. And I'm posting here in the chat panel our Vimeo showcase library, where all of Roger's sessions are now being hosted. So the morning must-watch show is there. The VIP room that we're in right now, both the VIP, the first hour and the second hour of the presentation are all there. So bookmark that link, and you can always go and see today's. Now, it takes about 2 hours, once we finish here for everything to be rendered and posted, but it's going to be there for you. The last thing is this, guys. Roger's got a detailed presentation he's going to go through. He's not going to be watching the chat, but I will be. So I'll answer your questions as they come up in the chat panel. And those that I can't answer or those that I'd like Roger to address for the group, I'll save those up and Roger will address those during the Q&A session. And with that, Roger, take it away, my man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Folks, the profits performance are not typical. If you're looking for something typical, this is not it. This is like on a whole different level. It's not a new program. It's a program that I launched almost 3 years ago. I wanted to show folks what's really possible, what a professional trader can really do. This program has revolutionized our community, and it lit a fire under a lot of people's asses. Okay, to say the least. The results is I've generated a 94.7% on my issue trades. I've had one loser in the last 7 months, and it's coming up to 7 months now. And on top of that, between February 1st and end of last month, I did 70 bonus trades that are not part of this 94.7%. And folks here can tell us right now. Again, I don't have the chat open, but folks can tell you how they've been doing. Mm-hmm. I'd love to know, please, because you know what? If I say crazy stuff like 94, people are like, yeah. He's just selling. He's a good salesman. I'm not selling anything. I'm telling you, this is what the numbers are. Mm-hmm. All right, folks, you will have losing trades. If you're looking to, even in the pit, we've had 26 losing trades, official trades, 500 winning trades, 26 losing trades in the last 2.5 years. Losing trades will happen. I even had 2 losing trades at one time. That's right. How dare I? All right, everyone, my name is Roger Scott. By the end of this broadcast, you're going to get a chance to join me and 1,546 other traders for what could be the 470th winning trade. Now, I've spent the past 3 years navigating the markets with what might be the coolest day trading tool that exists. It's called the Pro Trader Dashboard, and I've updated it several times, which means you could now pile into the exact same stocks that institutions are buying as it is happening. Okta, cybersecurity company, loaded up on Okta within an hour of the market open. Sure enough, 45% in an hour. Watch it happen again a couple of hours later, okay? Most traders had no clue that HIMS was being heavily accumulated an hour after the opening. But thanks to our tool, we knew it was a surefire bet to search higher for the rest of the day. As expected, guess what happened? 52% in 1 hour. And again, Palantir, 73% in 3 hours. All right, not bad. Sorry about that. And again, this week, what happened this week? Okay, this is just this week. It's folks, mind you, it's Wednesday morning, okay? It's Wednesday morning. We had HPE, we had Apple, and we had 2 NVIDIAs. It's Wednesday morning, okay? And by the way, we hit Apple times 2, all right? It was a double dip on Apple and a double dip on NVIDIA. And you guys made out like bandits. Look at this. This is from this week. This is just from yesterday and the day before. Very, very nice. HPE, Craig, Eagle Beagle. As you could see, people are hating it, absolutely hating this program. In fact, we've only taken 1 loss in the last 6 months, almost 7 months. Now, 86, Raleigh, we're getting closer to 100.
I know we are.
We're getting closer.
We're going to make it.
86 out of 87 trades have been winner. And I've had an 80% plus win rate on the bonus trades that are not even part of this social experiment that we've been doing. This doesn't even include the bonus trades. Here's the bonus trades. 71 bonus trades since February 1st of this year. 71 bonus trades with an 81.69% win rate. All right. Now, as great as these results are, tomorrow is your last chance to join us on this red-hot win streak. Let me explain. I've used this to spoon-feed you these trades. And when I say we've been crushing it, I mean, I'm just going to say that crushing it is probably an understatement, okay? Understatement. All right? Hear what people have to say. I've been a Diamond member for years now, but I just started trading pit trades. X marks the spot when I started taking pit trades. Rich, let's look at that. That's very nice. Joined program just a few months ago. My account is up 182%. I made $5,000 month to date, 91% success rate. I can now trade full-time for a living. I started 2,000, now have 17,000. We have a lot of testimonials. Every single day, 90% win rate on trades I've taken. Get down with your bad self, Randy. DJ Dave, 6,800 for July of 2025. And by the way, DJ Dave, he's still with me. Nothing changed. That's Richie when he first started. This is when he was just a pup. Look at that. January, he's doing a lot better than now. Richie, are you here? I don't have the chat open, but if you're here,
he is, right. And he's
say hello.
Very helpful. Yep.
Say hello. Thank you. The value of my portfolio has increased even with withdrawals since October. Texas Kirk, we see him every morning in the channel. Hedva from Israel, HG, soon reaching her $2,000 goal. Gregory is not at 300,000 anymore. Gregory's in 2 million now. Yes, he is. He was just here telling us that last week. He's a $2 million man now. He's a dentist. He doesn't just pull teeth, pulls money. Roddy, a retired military man, chief of police. Don't want to get arrested, Roddy. I'm going to stay out of trouble. Over 100 successful trading experiences. If people still question if this is the real deal, it is. Now, the other week, Omar, he comes in here sometimes. He's from France. He's a physicist. Good morning, Uncle Roger. $7,190,000. Not bad. And he sent me every one of his trades. I got every one of them. Now, as great as those stories are, that's not even what gets me hot and bothered. Since 2023, we've leveraged this game-changing system to issue 469 winning trade alerts with a staggering 94.7% win rate on real trades, not back tests. There's no back testing. I don't have one trade to show you that's been back tested. I only do real trades, real alerts. I don't take every trade. Sometimes I forget to take a trade in my account, and I'm not kidding. I'm serious. That's the other thing I need an assistant for, to monitor my emails and put on trades. Take a look at a handful of my top alerts after my team applied options during the internal audit. Roku, 40%, 44%, 82%, 116%. Now, there were smaller winners, and there were some that did not work out either. But if you had put $2,000 into each of those trades, you would have done very well. That's over $7,600. And your money would have been tied up for a very, very short period of time, only a couple hours. Now, you see why I'm not worried where the market's going to go this year? I have people who just take these scalp trades, and they're like, Roger, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. Now, I post some of the testimonials in the main Telegram channel from this morning. There's like 30 or 40 of them there. Now, I can go 30 or 40 of them there. I'm not kidding. The point is this, 94.7% on the actual trades, not the bonus trades. 2026 is looking like it could be a pretty good year. And we still have, let's see, where are we right now? We still have more than 6 months to go, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Because it's not just the win rate that gets me so excited. It's the fact that the internal audit shows that anybody who took these trades with the options could have started with $5,000 and turned it into 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, and gets even better. So if you want a chance to join us on what could be the 470th winning trades, it's a good time to do so right now, because tomorrow is your final call. Tomorrow's the last day I'm doing this. Then if you guys want me to talk more, post yes in the chat. Let's do this. Now, why should you listen to me? What's so different about me than any other guy out there? Well, I've been doing this for 32 and a half years. I was a private trader. I was the only private trader for the Bronfman family. If you don't know who the Bronfman family is, you might have heard of Time Warner. You might have heard of Seagram's. You might have heard of Universal Studios. Yeah, those, the ones that made Kennedys rich in America. Yeah, the richest family in Canada, those Bronfmans. So I was their private trader from 2000 to 2008, to January 2008. I've also partnered during that time. I've also had a fund with Kevin Hassett, the senior financial economist to President Trump's administration, where I taught him about technical analysis. And the same thing with Charles Kalamiris, who's the Ivy League professor of Columbia of finance, and I taught him a lot about technical analysis as well. These guys are hardcore economists; they're not technical traders. We had a technical fund, not a fundamental fund. I didn't sign up for that, and I shared my work with over 500,000 people worldwide. Now, before we dive in, let me just say this: you need to know there's no magic pill in trading that wins 100% of the time. You already know that. Every good trader has their fair share of winners and losers along the way. Now, we've been doing this for 32 years. I've been doing this for 32 years. I'm sure you haven't been doing this. Some of you might have been doing it longer. You know, T-Buzz has been doing this for over 40 years now. And I've shared my work with over 500,000 people worldwide. Most people think it's laughable to be a full-time trader. Why? Well, because 90% of traders don't beat the S&P 500. Isn't that funny? We're making money in high flyers. We're making money in the pit. We're making money in all my swing trading. Why are all these people losing money? Why is it so hard for them to make money? Why? Most traders find it hard to stay consistent in the market because of one major problem. They lack a way to detect what institutions are doing. Folks, if you can't figure out what institutions are doing, you've lost, you have no edge. Institutional order flow is what moves the market. It really is. That's what moves the markets. I'm talking about smart money managers who collect billions in fees overseeing 401k, high net worth individuals, hedge funds, corporations, investment banks. These are the entities that can. Steve Cohen, this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest traders of our generation right here. All right, right here. He had to change his name. There was a huge lawsuit against him by the government. Everybody that's good gets sued by the government, you know? Citadel, these are sharks right here. Huge orders that move the share. That's what moves the market, okay? The problem is the majority of retail traders don't have access to trading software that can track order flow in real time. A Bloomberg terminal will not help you, okay? A Bloomberg terminal will not help you. Today, that changes. When you have a way to detect what stocks are being bought and sold in real time, all right, it changes everything. All you got to do is just think of a shark. You get your paws on that shark and you follow it. Let the shark do your battles for you. You don't have to pretend you're a shark. You just have to know how to latch onto one, okay? Like on November 2nd, we knew that institutions were buying Roku an hour after the market opened. I sent out an alert at 10:26 in the morning. And sure enough, Roku surged higher all day long. Awesome day, Roku, Vivek, 100%, Michael, 135%. People made money. We have over 1,500 people in the program. And then a few days later, my system showed that D-Dog was under strong institutional accumulation 1 hour after the market opened. As expected, the dog ripped higher for the rest of the day. Doug, Adam, Michael, they all made money. At the same time, with CrowdStrike, a couple hours later, BB, Brian, Robinson, John, they all made money. All right? Institutional traders don't buy stocks like you or I do. We buy stocks in one shot, right? Institutions, they don't do that. They can keep buying and buying and buying and buying. Let's say you're smart money and you want to buy 5 million shares of Uber. Excuse me, market maker, I'd like to place an order for 5 million shares of Uber. Get out of here. Get out of here, right, Rob? Get out of here. All right, 5 million share orders, you would be chasing all over yourself. They don't do that. Now, I have a program called Full-Time Trading Class. I actually give it for free with the Quick Strike program, and I explain in great detail how how to buy near the VWAP. So what do? You put your automated trading algos to work, programming them to fill the huge buy orders in small lots throughout the entire day. This creates a methodical grind up in the share price all day long. Any dips are immediately bought up by the algos, looking to fill the huge 5 million share order. When a stock is under heavy algo buying pressure, it has strong intraday relative strength compared to the market. And tomorrow, I'll talk more about the techniques that we use to trade these trades, not just the bonus scalps. I just know that people just are going crazy over these scalps. It's been like the greatest thing ever because they're just making so much money with them. The key is finding which stocks have the strongest intraday relative strength within the first hour of the day. That way you can ride the algo spree all day long. So how do we do it? Let me show you. This is the SPY on November 20th. It was up 1% on the day. Verizon was one of the strongest stocks in the S&P. It was up nearly 3.5% on the day. That means intraday relative strength was about as strong as it gets for Verizon. The smart money likely had their trading algos programmed to accumulate Verizon shares all day long. If you would have known that within the first hour of the day, like we did, you could have rode the algo buying spree for the rest of the day. Doug, JC, Kathy made out like bandits. Like bandits. Watch it happen again with Seagate. 1 hour into the day, Seagate had really strong relative strength. It was much stronger than the SPY. That means institutions were likely gearing up to accumulate that stock all day long. All you would have had to do was buy STX knowing it was likely going to grind higher throughout the day. And sure enough, it went ba-boom, okay? Bob did very well. Bob, you guys know Bob Elmore. He's always in the morning show. He's always helping me out. He's my actuary. He's a great guy. He was here saying hello to you, waving to you last week. Carlos was here with him. Just nicest people in the world. It gets even better. Intraday relative strength doesn't just work to the upside. It works the same way to the downside too. For example, let's say you're smart money and you want to sell 5 million shares of Uber instead. You can't just dump all those shares on the market at once. Otherwise, it would crash the share price. What do? You program your algos to liquidate 5 million shares throughout the day in small chunks. This creates a steady grind down in share price all day long. When a stock is under heavy institutional selling pressure, it has weak intraday relative strength compared to the market. You just need a way to spot it an hour after the market opens. That way, you could ride the trend down throughout the day. Just like on November 1st with ticker VFC. If you would have known that VFC had weak intraday relative strength, in fact, it was the weakest stock in the S&P 1 hour into the trading session, you could have placed one quick trade during the first hour of the day and then bagged the huge payday before the closing bell. Michael made more than enough to cover his mortgage payment. Think about it for a minute. An extra $3K from a day trade could do a lot of good for a lot of people right now. Maybe cover a payment or two, maybe pay down some debt, maybe have a nice weekend in Puerto Rico, all from one trade that only took a few hours. Now, folks, there's no guarantees in this market. There's no guarantees in life. But in all of my years, I found that measuring a stock's relative strength and volume, usually they go together during the initial hour of the day, is the best indicator of what it's going to do in the future. And as I said, I've talked about the type of trades we do in the pit for the last hour here before. And that's exactly why I built a state-of-the-art platform to track all this stuff. Here's how I use it to find stocks institutions are buying or selling within the first hour of the day. And 99% of the trades are just calls and puts. There's no combinations, nothing like that. Just buying calls or puts. Let's say you want to find a stock with strong intraday relative strength. You pull up the relative strength scanner, run a relative strength scan for the strongest stock in the market on a 1 hour time frame. You buy in because the stocks with the strongest relative strength are stocks that institutions are likely accumulating. For example, on November 6th, 1 hour after the market opened, Microsoft had strong intraday relative strength compared to the SPY. In fact, the hourly relative strength scan showed it was the strongest stock in the S&P 500. I sent out an alert at 10:08, knowing algos were likely going to accumulate the stock all day long. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, Microsoft outperformed the SPY by a factor of 6-1. And some of my traders made a killing. Watch it happen again with Intel, another trade we nailed just a few days later. On November 16th, Intel had strong intraday relative strength compared to the SPY. It was the second strongest stock on an hourly relative scan of the day. So I sent out an alert letting folks know about this. All right. Just like that, Intel versus the SPY. And again, we do active trades, 1 to 2 day trades. We do sniper trades, which are 15-minute trades. We do swing trades. They're all directional. The only non-directional trade we do is time spreads. That's how we take advantage of earnings. And after you learn how to do time spreads, you will never, ever, 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 ever trade earnings any other way. Trust me on that. I've closed out Intel, 50% profit. Kathy, Intel. People made money on Intel. And folks, just the last 2 days, I've gotten over 300 testimonials. I'm not joking. Right now, in the last hour, I got 20. I'm looking at my screen right now. I got 20 testimonials. Of course, it works exactly the same. And I love it. It works exactly the same way to the downside. On November 16th, Tesla had weak intraday relative strength compared to the SPY. It was the weakest stock in the market 1 hour after the opening bell. So I sent out an alert, and like clockwork, Tesla went off a cliff. And a boatload of you guys made money. By the way, we haven't had one losing Tesla trade since we started the service 2.5 years ago. Isn't that something? We have not had one losing Tesla trade. I track Tesla trades. Tesla actually behaves really well with technicals. Raleigh, you should know that Tesla is one of the best behaving stocks using technicals. Really, really, really good stock. Now, it's important to remember that no system is 100% perfect. We've had some losers too, but by riding the coattails of institutional traders for the last 3 years, we've generated a 94.7% win rate on all our official trades. And I think it's safe to say that after 471 winning trades and only 26 losers, this year is a pretty good year. Now listen, you can keep doing whatever it is you're doing. And I don't know what it is you're doing, but I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing like the pit. I said it 3 years ago. I said it 2 years ago. I said it a year ago. And I'm saying it again. There's nothing out there like the pit. If there is, please let me know what program it is so I could subscribe to it and make my job easier. Okay. All right. Keep worrying if a recession is going to hit. Um, keep worrying if keep hoping that we're going to go back to all-time highs or break lower. I don't know. It's hard, and I'm going to tell you something. The Fed isn't making it easier for us either. Hurry up and wait. It's been a pain in the butt. All by simply tapping into the most powerful market force that exists: real-time institutional order flow. I'm officially inviting you, yes, you, and please don't procrastinate. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. And 1,546 others in my most exclusive group, 48 hours only, 1 to 2 alerts per day, not including bonus trades. I do more than enough trades there. Trust me. Folks, do I do enough trades in the pit? Or is anybody lagging trades in the pit? I've never gotten an email that says you're not giving us any trades. One of the best programs out there. I've never been winning more consistently. That's my third MIT grad. We have Ken Reitz, we have Penny, and we have Stu. Get on board. Get on board. Wes says, well worth the money. Wes, I got an email from him this morning. Mr. Lake Las Vegas. Frosty B, Val, I made money every day. Just bought a house cash in December. Turned up my small account with 50% in the first 10 days. Carlos, Mr. Puerto Rico. Michael made money on almost every trade, 276%. Every winner is over 35%. Brett, I get depressed on weekends when the pit is closed. Joanne, look at this. Crazy summer, vacationing with 3 grandkids. Duty. Here we are, $226,000 up. This is when Richie was just starting out. 315K in profit. This was a long time ago. Okay? John recently made enough money to buy Betsy a car. Richie bought his daughter a car. Today, I want you in on the action. Now, before I give out, we're already past the 470. I think we're at 471. Let me walk you through what you can expect. The moment I see something hot and heavy, I'll verify and I'll send you a Telegram link. A message. Once you get the link, you could just take a link. Why do I keep saying link? Once you get the alert, you could take it straight from the Telegram. You can expect 1 to 2 action-packed alerts per day on average. Okay? Just like what happened recently. NVIDIA, just like we did today, this morning, times 2. Go along NVIDIA, you would have taken the closest expiring option. And I give you a full breakdown of the options that we take for each one for the sniper scalps. It's about this much material. Very, very easy to understand. Had you taken the trade, you would have backed 44% in under an hour, like this morning, times 2. And then we closed out 2 more winners on the very same day. 28% in 2 hours. I even gave one today, Raleigh. I told him this morning, I said, Google looks like it's setting up like a scalp. Mm-hmm. And then I got a letter like 5 letters an hour later. Oh, we took that. I'm like, it's setting up. It's not a scalp. They took it anyway. They made money on it. 28% in 2 hours, 65% in 1 hour. You know who you are. You Google takers. If you had put 5,000 into each trade with the right option, you would have made over $12,800. And your money would have been tied up in less than 4 hours. Everything you need to get started is in your Getting Started guide. You'll find bonus training videos about how to balance your positions, bet sizing, and all that jazz. And that's not all. You're also going to get emotional mind traps 1 and 2. Yes, mine and 2. Raleigh, my chat is closed. And are people here telling other people the benefits of the pit, or is it just me?
No, it's just crickets. There have been no posts whatsoever, Roger, because once again, this is the worst program ever. And but in all seriousness, I want to thank everybody. The testimonials have been off the charts.
Thank you, folks.
And once again, Penny just posted. Has anybody ever wondered why, since we're already using the program, why we're bothering to be here? Well, they're here, Roger, because they're here to support you. They're here to support the program, and many of the questions that have been posted here have been answered by members. I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That makes me even happier. Good. I guess that's another reason for me not to check the Telegram, the chat box.
You're all good.
Good. So you get now. I know folks like Jason, and I think Matt, a few others. They read this every morning. Jason's been making $30,000 a week. for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And he reads this every morning. I'm telling you, I really care about you guys. These guys will help you. And by the way, I wrote the second one like 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still updating everything, still just added new trades to the program, always trying to help you out. All right. I don't know if Jason's here or not, but if he is, if Jason, if you're here, good afternoon to you. Not only will you receive 1 to 2 alerts per day, but you'll get important breaking news updates as they come. I'm always posting stuff in the channel. I'm always talking to you guys, always giving you information. You'll get VIP level assistance. You're going to get the pit, the emotional mind traps. Most importantly, you get access to me. And folks, that's it. I'm very good for this kind of stuff. All right. Very good for this kind of stuff. I would say you're in good hands if you're with me. All right. I have never, ever, ever not helped somebody become a successful trader if that's what they really wanted to accomplish. And I think after I launched the pit, people saw that it was actually possible. And that's the key, because you will never, ever make money until you realize that it's possible. Okay. That only then can you do it. Now, you're probably wondering, what is it going to cost you? Oh, next year, it's going to really cost you. I'm very, very proud of my track record, okay? It's the best track record I've ever built, and it's the best one out there. And if anybody doubts my trading abilities, I will challenge you personally to a 100 trade contest, and we'll do it live. So far, not one person has wanted to take me up on that challenge. Now, earlier today, I told you we've locked in 469 wins with a 94.7% win rate and a profit factor of 8, which means for every dollar you lose, you make $8 back. I take that any day and twice on Sunday. Win rate over 90, it's now 94.75%. Look at that. Insane profit factor, not 1.5, 8. That means for every dollar risk, you're getting $8 back. And anyone if started with $5,000, you would have been up just taking the official trades, not the bonus trades. And we have more bonus trades than actual trades. Not 100, not 200, but 288,000. 288,000. Look at my last trades. Apple, HP, Rostore, Tygo. See how I'm going through? These are all the stocks that are on my watch list right now, my swing trades. Last couple of weeks, all my stocks are on my swing trade list. And look how smooth this equity curve goes up. That's what happens when you actually have a professional trader. Not somebody who just talks, but somebody who actually knows what he's doing. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that my retail price is $49.95. Now, my retail price is going to go to $99.95 on this program. Why? Because it's worth 10 times that. And I spend a lot of my time here. I spend 70% of my time in the pit. People will tell you that. I'm always there posting something. In fact, if you try to sign up through the main website, that's what you would pay. 1 year of access for $49.95, and soon it'll be $99.95. I think it's more than fair considering the profit potential. Plus, I'm scanning the markets, giving you opportunities all day long. Now, here's the deal. Because you're here right now, I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to charge you $49.95. I'm going to slash the price down and quite a bit, and I'm going to do it again to $29.95. Now, tomorrow is your last chance to join, and I'm not going to be doing this class for another month or two, at least. After that, the price is going to go up $500. So if you want to join the pit at the lowest price you will ever see, and the pit's been around now for 2.5 years. 2.5 years, since October 30th, 2023. That was the first. And before that, I did 100 trades for you, 180 trades in the regular Telegram channel, and we had a 96% win rate there. So, folks, you need to take action right now. We have a 97.4% officials on official trades. That's not counting the scalps. That's not counting what people are raging over right now. Okay. I basically created a second program within the program, and I'm not charging you any more money for it. It's pretty cool. I think I'm being a pretty nice guy because I could easily, I can right now, tomorrow, launch a sniper scalp service, and it will become the biggest seller in the history of the pub. Not doing that, putting them in the pit. Today, you have a chance to save nearly $2,000. $2,000. If you're serious about making 2026 your best year ever, this is a good program to join. Click the link in the chat. I'm pretty sure that Raleigh's posting it for you right now. And $29.95. which I think is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Um, all right. Click the link in the chat or go to rogerscott.com/trading or give us a call 904-706-3539. And folks, if you know somebody else who managed money from one of the top 10 wealthiest families on earth for 8 years, or if you know somebody who worked with the guy who is the senior financial advisor of President Trump's administration, do you know anybody who did that? Because I did. I think I'm pretty qualified. I'm not some dude off the internet. I've traded with Tony Saliba, who's a market wizard, here at the pub about 6 years ago. Okay, who's next to Paul Tudor Jones and Stanley Druckenmiller. All right, all right. Final call. Price goes up $500 tomorrow. Okay, my goal is for you to pay off your membership in no time at all, just like many other traders done. The pit paid for itself in my first 2 days of trading for the lifetime membership. I had Linda Rashke's husband come to our live class and tell everybody that I'm doing a great job and I'm teaching everybody exactly the right way. He's been a floor trader for 47 years. Damon, okay? Remember, guys, Damon? All right. 3 times the cost of the trading pit since I joined Mr. Lake Las Vegas. Very, very nice. I honestly paid for my membership in 1 week. I have never done that with any other program. Very nice. Trades I've taken have already paid for the trading pit. Rick, 30% gains on all trades, already paid for the trading pit 4 times over. Kevin, love the pit. Just follow Roger and you're going to pay for it within a week after, even with a small account. So far, every trade is profitable. I have repaid the money I've invested in the pit 10 times. The trading pit is my steady monthly income, over 95% success rate. You will pay for it in a month. Roger is not kidding. I've already made 5 times my initial investment. Glenn. Nathan, nice guy, very nice guy. Changing and helping people's lives. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. That's very, very nice testimonials we're getting here. No, those are some of the best stories. And that's it. My goal is for you to pay off your membership even faster than Alan, Rig, Deb, and all of them did. And folks, if you have any questions, I'll be answering questions in just a few minutes. Don't wait any longer. Save yourself some money. Click the link in the chat. Give us a call. Secure your spot today. The 470th winning trade is coming up. $29.95. rogerscott.com/trading. To my knowledge, the pit is the only place where you get 1 to 2 active alerts per day on stocks institutional traders are likely buying or selling in real time. Sometimes I have more than that. I have 3-4 trades. Like recently, we sent out an alert on Coin, 11%, 34 minutes. Another one on WBA, 26% in 2 hours. We weren't done yet. WBA, massive win on AbbVie and WBA. Look at that. Amgen, cleaning up. If you would have put $5,000 into each of those trades, you would have come out with almost $12,000, which would have more than covered the cost of your membership from just 1 day of trading. Click the link in the chat. Get today before price goes up $500. rogerscott.com/trading, $29.95. Now, what do people have to say? I started with $4,000, have over $8,000 in just 15 days. All right. Matt, whatever happened to that trade you were in? No, all right. David cleared 5,000 on CVS. Paul had 60 wins with 1 loss. 60 wins with 1 loss. Marshall only takes pits trades now. I'm almost 100% Roger trader. Lauren booked 2,200 on a single trade. The Trading Pit and Pro Trader dashboard are helping me gap my way into retirement. I have no idea what a loser is, and turned 1,000 into 4,000. David, over 200 profit in 5 months. Melvin, Roger Scott is the very best by far. You have taught me more in the pit than all the other programs. If you're on the fence about buying it, just do it. That's pretty fair. I've been trading 25 years and have never experienced something like Roger. Now, that could be construed in a negative way too. Now, it can go either way. No, but he's very, very happy. You're a wizard, 6,400 profit on the day, Ben. Very, very nice. Um, I had a phenomenal day exceeding my daily goal. We like that. That's very, very nice. Very, very nice. I've doubled my account in a month. I've learned more from Roger in 5 months than I have in 5 years. I got a nice testimony. Angie wrote this to me 2.5 years ago. She comes every morning to my morning sessions, and I just got an email from her this morning. People stick around. They stick around. They don't go anywhere. They stick around. Brett says some of my best, even safest trades this year's would have been day trades. Who would have guessed? Those are some of the best stories, and I literally have 21 to get over here when I'm done with you guys. $29.95. It's your final call. Important announcement. After you complete your next page, you're going to get access to join the Pro Trader dashboard. That's the tool that I use to generate these trades. That's the tool that tells me what institutions are doing. It's a software, okay? Once you're ready to go, pull up relative strength scan to find the strongest stocks or the weakest stocks. Wait for the arrow to pop up or an up arrow for a breakout. There's your profit targets and your stop loss, which is absolutely the way to go about all of this. And if everything works out, look at that, 104% in 5 hours. This is your chance. This is your chance to secure access for a massive discount. And by the way, if you want that spreadsheet that we have, customer service has it. Just reach out to them. They'll send it to you. Traders are in love with it. What did they have to say for themselves? Roddy, extra cheese on the Big Mac today. Made 2,000 this morning with Tesla using Pro Trader dashboard. Art. 18 wins, 1 loss with the Pro Trader dashboard. Gary. Closed out 2 more winning trades. Make sure to get Pro Trader dashboard. Ben. A couple of times in my life, I've gotten the opportunity of a lifetime. Murmis. I haven't seen Murmis in a while. I hope he's okay. Gotta check on Murmis, see how Murmis is doing. But yeah, the pit and the Pro Trader dashboard is where you want to be. And folks, my suggestion is get lifetime, upgrade to lifetime. You don't want to pay $9,995 per year next year. You don't. You really don't. And I hope you don't. Andrea, love Pro Trader dashboard. Remember all those people who bought the data miner when it was just a spreadsheet? Woo, they're not hating it now. It was just a spreadsheet. Now it's like a massive program. I keep things going. I don't get hot and cold. I'm very consistent. I follow through. I'm very disciplined. I love Pro Trader dashboard, making consistent money. One of the things you need in this business is you need a lot of discipline. And I'm the most disciplined human being I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just telling you, I'm very Matt, how disciplined am I? Very, 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 I am like super disciplined.
Boringly so.
Boringly so. Boringly so. I'm really, really disciplined. Okay. Final chance, price goes up $500. You got a couple of choices. You can leave now. Look for next hottest trading strategy that promises to make you rich overnight. Look for the latest AI tool that will solve all your worldly problems. God bless. Keep chasing trades you shouldn't have. Keep panic selling because you don't have a game plan. Keep losing money repeatedly because what hasn't worked isn't going to work. You guys have heard the saying. You guys have heard the saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. It won't change. You got to do something about it. Join me, yes, join me and 1,500 other folks inside a community called The Pit. It's the only place in the world where you can piggyback off of hedge funds and institutional traders in real time. And folks, if you think other folks can generate returns like this as consistently as I have, you'll find out that that's just not the case. Secure your spot at half off and save nearly $2,000. I think of it like this. If the world's top 10 richest family picked me, they could have picked anybody in the world, and they picked me. And I wasn't there for 8 months. I was there for 8 years. It says something, right? I mean, they could have had anybody they wanted, but they picked me, and they didn't share me with anybody. All right. Secure your spot at half off, save $2,000 before the price goes up $500, $29.95. How many alerts per day? It depends. Sometimes no alerts per day, sometimes a lot of alerts per day. It just depends. You know? Exactly, iPhone, exactly. Is the small account friendly? Yes, during the internal audit, the average cost per option trade was $174. Is there any sort of guarantee? Yes, there's a 14-day money back guarantee. 14-day money back guarantee. Is it only for day trades? No, no, no. A lot of people think I'm just day trading. Folks, almost every trade we do in the afternoon is a swing trade. Think about it like this. I do more swing trades here than any of my programs together because I'm always here in this room. So you get more swing trades, day trades, scalp trades, bonus trades, earnings trades, everything. And remember the grenade trade, the explosions. Those are great too. We do a lot of grenade trades when there's news coming out. And you see, folks, what you will learn is context. You will learn the right context for placing trades, and then you will be able to replicate. You will be able to replicate that same context for yourself. You understand? All right. In fact, swing trading is the reason one of my top traders like Ches loves the pit. Look, I've noticed you saying that every trading pit trade can be a swing trade. Let me show you a social experiment. Look at the trades on my swing trade list for today. NVIDIA, Apple, those are trades that I've been scalping the last few days. Think about that. They're still on my swing trading list. I never, ever give you a trade unless that trade will end up on my swing trading list, okay? And I do a lot of bonus trades. That's what I was saying. I do 70. This is funny. This is a bonus trade. It's a strangle. That's the explosion trade I'm talking about. So, explosion. You know, when you watch those military movies and you see a bunch of people running and somebody throws a grenade and it explodes all of them? It's a non-directional explosion trade. Got to have an explosion type of sound here, Raleigh. You got to get some sound effects here. Yeah, that's what we need here. Recently, we started doing sniper scalps. These are my sniper scalps. And this is the sniper dashboard, which you've never seen before. These sniper scalps are fast-moving trades, usually take 5 to 15 minutes to play out. Raleigh, have you ever seen this dashboard?
I have not seen it.
No, you
I have
haven't.
not seen it in the flesh, but I've seen I've seen what you're working on, but I haven't seen the final deal.
This is the sniper scalp, the sniper dashboard. Yes, yes. All of you who have lifetime? Yes, the sniper dashboard. You can expect anywhere between 1 and 3 sniper scalps per day. We've already had 2.5 today. Perfect for the end of the pattern day trading requirement, which is now ending any day now.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, traders have been loving it. Do you folks want me to have a special session to show you how I do these sniper scalps? Look at this. Got a lot of testimonials. Very nice scalp on pawn. It went right on down, filled me and took profit, $569. If I start showing you testimonials on sniper scalps, we're literally going to be here for the next 3 days straight. Because I get so many of them, it's just ridiculous. Roger, thanks for the scalp. 36%, David. Good morning. Thanks for the sniper scalp on Netflix. 25%, 5 minutes. Roger, 35 on Tesla sniper scalp. Hardly any time at all. You're the best. I made 60% on the Pan W sniper scalp. We do a lot of scalping. We do a lot of sniper. Doug, 240 and 35 minutes on Marvell. Just today, we already did 2, and some even took the one I was suggesting that I'm looking at. 39.66% in 9 minutes. Becky, $539 in 10 minutes. Kevin, sniper trades in the pit have added so much value to the program. Thank you. It was very valuable before that. It had a 94.7% win rate before the sniper scalps. In the coming months, these sniper scalps will likely be, or maybe they'll be their own service. And based on the success you saw, $19.95 per year, that would be giving it away. But when you join the pit today, you're not have to pay anything extra. I'm keeping the sniper scalps in there. They're going to be in there. You're going to get free access. This is the special offers only guaranteed today. But you got to get in today. Otherwise, there's no soup for you. How will I receive my alerts? All trades are updated via Telegram. That way you'll get instant access, and it's very, 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 very fast. Okay? It's instant. Instant. Is the pit for beginners? Yes, it's a great way for people. You got to know the basics. Like, you got to know what a call option is or what a pull option is. But other than that, and you need to know how to place a trade. But other than that, it's really easy. Raleigh, you and I have outlined my option picking rules in like one paragraph.
Oh, yeah.
Right. All right. What trading platform is it compatible with? It's TradingView and Think or Swim, and also TradeStation, right? Is that right? TradeStation, I believe. This is the Pro Trader dashboard. I think this one is the, yeah, I think
TradeStation, TradingView, and
yes.
Thinkorswim. Yep.
Thinkorswim, TradingView, and TradeStation. Thank you. And if you guys behave yourselves, I'll give you, yes, it works on TradeStation. I'll give you guys a access to Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show, where you guys can get goodies from 10 to 1, and they can actually take over your computer and show you everything you need to know and how to work it and all that stuff. $29.95. Tomorrow, the price is going up $500. All right. Wow, that was fun. Let's take some questions, shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Roger, terrific presentation. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank everybody here in the room for sharing their wonderful testimonials in the chat for everybody that are here. I mean, Roger, if I had to guess, I want to say there's 30 plus testimonials here in the chat, and I'll send those to you a little bit later today. So thank you for that. Also, I want to thank everybody here for also jumping in and helping answer questions from a lot of people that are here that are new, Roger, and they weren't shy or bashful at all about jumping in on that. So let me see, what do we have here? So one of the questions that several people asked, because, there were some slides there that you said, okay, guys, if you had started with a $5,000 account and invested 10% of your account on every single trade over the past 3 years, you would have gone from 5K to 288. And people were just scratching their heads going like, what? Is that possible? Well, yeah. So remember what Roger said, a $5,000 account. If you had invested 10% of your account, started with 500, then 550, on and on and on all these trades, you would have grown to 288 in 3 years. And Roger, if I'm not mistaken, that's just on the standard trades. That's just on the standard trades.
Yes. And we've had 400. So listen to this. So the program's been gone on for 2.5 years. In those 2.5 years, we've had a total of, say, 500 official trades in 2.5 years. 500 official trades. Between February and today, end of the month, we've had over 70 bonus trades. So think about how active the program is. It's very active, right? 70 trades in 3 months that are just bonus trades, plus a regular trade every single day.
Yep.
It adds up. So we've had over 1,000 trades, okay? Well over 1,000 trades in 2.5 years. So that's why I always tell people that they're like, well, your other swing trading program is swing trading. I'm like, yeah, but I do more swing trading in this program than I do in like 3 other programs put together because I'm very active. So even if you miss all the day trades and scalps, which you don't need to do now because the 25,000 is going away, if you do the swing trades, you'll still get more trades. You'll still get more of me because I'm always here. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if a trade is going to be a swing trade or not. This is an active program. Remember, I've been trading this way for 32 years now. No, I've been trading this way more like 26, 27 years. But it took me a while to get going. So this is me being me, doing what I do. So I'm always going to be doing it. I'm not going to become a different person tomorrow. My trading style is not going to evolve. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing the same thing for decades. So this is what I do. So I created a program to mimic how I trade. And that's it. And we usually we don't start trades. We liquidate for the first 30 minutes. I look for scalps after the first 15 minutes. I look for official trades after the first half hour. And usually anything after lunchtime, like after we're done with this broadcast, is swing trading time. So so here's what I do. I come here in the morning and I start doing my high flyers. That usually takes me 15, 20 minutes, but those trades have a fixed stop loss and profit target. So they don't take a lot of work. So about half an hour, 40 minutes of that, and I'm ready to go here. So as I'm finishing up my day trading stuff, the large cap stuff starts coming in. So I gradually move from there to here, and then I'm here for the rest of the day. And then sometimes there's an offset or something in high flyers, but that's all like a computerized system. It's like stop loss, entry, exit. It's completely mechanical. as
And
far
to
as yeah,
that point, Roger, because some people had asked the questions, I know that that first 30 minutes of the trading day for large caps, typically that's the no trade zone. You stay away from activity there. And some people were asking the question, I've got the Pro Trader dashboard. When should I start looking at the scanner? Should I wait for after 30 minutes? And I think the answer to that question is
yes,
yes.
yes. Except the sniper scalps, that you could start looking at 15 minutes. But honestly, I still like half an hour. I find that a lot of those trades are false moves. So,
Mhm.
and also you're going to get too many highlighted candles. So I like to wait a little longer and really see
Well, you've
what's
said there's
moving.
rebalancing that's going on, there's liquidation that's going on. There's just about a bunch of what we'll call that monkey business going on in that first 30 minutes. So that's a great question there. And the other thing is this, once again, this is more of a question on the Pro Trader dashboard. The Pro Trader dashboard, in my opinion, Roger, does a great job of identifying opportunities, but there are some additional steps you should take when an opportunity surfaces. Am I correct, Roger? In other words,
Absolutely.
yeah. And you cover all that. And that's something else
Yes.
that I want to address here. It wasn't a question that came up, but it just dawned on me, Roger. One of the things that's so special about this program is that it is an alert service, Roger. And on one level, you could just issue alerts and say, people, there you go, there's the alert. But you don't work that way. You have a lot of education where you explain to people exactly the process you're going through to find these alerts. And the reason you do that is because you want people to get comfortable with the fact that that you know what you're doing, and when they get an alert that they can take it, trusting that they know all that went into the selection of that. If that makes sense, folks. Because once
Absolutely.
again,
Yes.
Roger could just send you alerts and say, just take them, blindly follow me. But he doesn't want anybody to blindly follow him. And that's where all this education is there. And Roger, my opinion, that separates you from other people doing alert services because you kind of share some of your secret sauce that goes
Yes.
into this selection process.
Raleigh, I'm going to tell you what the secret is. There's a secret behind it. I care. I really care. I care, and people who've met me, who've been with me for a while, you can't fool people. You can't trick people. People are not stupid. People can tell when somebody's trying to be a used car salesman or when somebody genuinely cares. I respond to emails at 6:45 in the morning.
Yep.
I respond to emails on Sunday afternoon. I engage with people all hours of the day and night. You see, there are people who choose to do this, and there are people who have been chosen to be part of this. I don't feel like I chose this. I felt like this chose me. So I feel like I feel like I'm in like a special, like almost in like a trading cult. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
this is my world.
Right.
And I don't really know how to do anything else that well. I mean, I could be a lawyer, but this is all I've done. And I really love it. And I love making connections with people, and I love proving people wrong. And anytime I hear somebody say you can't make money in trading, you can't be consistent, you can't, I mean, it just makes me cringe. It just makes me cringe because that information is just so wrong and it's so inaccurate and
Hmm.
it's not easy. All right, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's possible. It's very, very possible.
Yep.
And I've had people with me like Ken. Ken's been with me for 8 years now, 9 years. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I'm the same person. I'm exactly who I was. That's the difference. I really care about you and your success. I want you to come to my office and brag about how much you're doing. I want you to help your family out. I really want that. That's what makes me feel happy.
Hmm.
It's not the money. I'm way past that. It's seeing people succeed. You know, my wife comes from a family of teachers. I think the reason why my wife is attracted to me is because I have a personality of a teacher. But I really care. I really care about you guys. And if you guys can't figure out who really cares about you, who's just trying to sell you stuff, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't really help you with that. I can't help you being human, but I really care about your success. And people here will tell you. I have people that come to my house who are my students. Ken, Richie, not Richie. Richie missed it, but several people who've been to my house. I mean, I live and breathe this stuff. I have somebody coming here in the next half hour, and I'm going to sit with him, and he hasn't paid. He's never paid a penny here, and I'm going to show him something because I care about. I really, really care, and that, my friends, is something you can't You can't put a price to that, is what I'm trying
No.
to say.
And there's
Yeah.
no, and then you can't clone it either, Roger. I mean, it's just sincerity, you know.
Yeah.
Now, something else that a couple people were, or several people had asked the question, Roger. I think they're new to the program, and they're going into one click and they're going, huh, I don't see the performance of the program there in the membership area. And guys, you know, all the trades that Roger issues, they're time stamped and they're in the private telegram. But if you want that spreadsheet, all you have to do is contact our customer service team and basically say, hey, can you send me the spreadsheet on that? I don't know why we don't have it in one click, Roger.
I have no I
Maybe
have
we
no
should just
idea.
look at it and just put it there. But
I have
once it
no idea. I don't know why. I have absolutely no idea because Dave's been updating it since the day we started, and he
I'll look at it. Let me look into that.
yeah,
Okay. And see
I
what's
don't
going.
know. That's a good question. I don't know why we don't have it in there, but it's certainly something I'm very proud of. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's not in there, but I have no problems with it being there. I love that spreadsheet. That spreadsheet is my best friend.
Well, once again, the thing I want people to understand is that we have made some very, you know, strong claims about the performance of this program, and that's backed up by actual data. And so from the end, everything that we do, folks, is audited. Okay, all of
Yeah,
our is audited. We're very, very regulated from that standpoint. So it stands to reason. But if you need something like today, you know, and if you would like to look at it, no problem. Call
and
customer service.
and I just want to say that I think a testimonial from people who've been in this program for a couple of years is 1,000 times more valuable than me telling you how good it is. Personally, that's what I think. Because if I was going to buy something and if I saw this guy talking about 94 points, I'd want to see what the people in the room are saying, not what he's saying. Because to me, you know, people are going to spin things. Why don't you listen to what other people's testimonials are? People who've
Oh
been with me
yeah.
for years. That's what I would be paying attention to,
Hmm.
right? And I think again, I didn't have the chat open, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that people are really excited and very happy about this
Oh
program,
yeah.
and that's before I added the sniper scalps to them. So
Absolutely. And there was, if you remember, sort of like back at the beginning of the presentation, there was, you know, there was an individual that represented a body of people that are just new to trading, Roger. And, you know, once again, I think their heads were spinning when we just started talking about all the vernacular and vocabulary that we're so comfortable with. And they're going like, obviously, this is not for me. And there are some other programs that are less intense. But what I really appreciated is the comments that Richie and several other people made about, look, like anything else, if this is new to you, it just takes practice and time and application. Because if you want to go, I look at it this way, Roger. I don't care how experienced you are, but at the end of the day, if you're in a program where somebody like you with 32 years of experience is got some tools that you had specifically designed for yourself to find what institutions are buying and selling in real time, and then you are curating each one of those and feeding up to us the best ones,
yeah,
well, you can't get a better edge in the market. Now, if you're new, what you need to learn is, well, how is he making those decisions and how do I place those trades? The fact that Roger is picking for you, here's the ticker, here's when to get in, and here's when to get out, has eliminated the bulk of the problem that people have with
yeah,
trading. Okay.
yes,
It's like
yes,
apply yourself, learn how to buy a call, learn how to buy a put, get adventurous, learn how to do a debit spread or a time
yeah.
spread,
I mean,
you
look,
know, and you're
the rules,
set.
our execution rules fit one paragraph.
Hmm.
The entire execution for every trade in the pit fits in one paragraph.
Hmm.
That's how hard you have to. I mean, think about as Dieter just said, learning a new language. I'm asking you to memorize a paragraph, and you repeat the same paragraph every single time. Look,
Hmm.
regular day trade, active day trade, 4 to 8 days till expiration, delta of 0.70. If you do a debit spread, you start with a delta of 0.50 and you pay no more than 50% of that. If it's a scalp, you go closest till expiration. If it's a tech stock, you go 2 strike price, 3 strike prices out. If it's a blue chip, you go 1 to 2 strike prices out. Delta between 0.30 and 0.40. If it's a swing trade, you go 4 to 6 weeks out with a delta of 0.70 or a debit spread that fits with exactly the same thing that I just said a minute ago. That's
Yeah.
it. Those are it. Those are the rules. Those are your rules of engagement.
Yep.
Now, I
And I
just
just
said it really
posted that
fast.
document there, but it's
Yeah.
there. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like that's it. Those are the rules. Put that little card by you, and that's all you need to do. You know. All right. I think I've said enough. Raleigh, thank you for. I got a little too excited for my own good, but I do because I really love this program.
Yeah.
I think I wish it was around when I started. It would have saved me about 6 years, 5 to 7 years of time, which is a lot of time. A lot of time. I'm going to give you the screen, my friend.
All right.
Thank you for hosting me today. And folks, if you have any other questions, roger@rogerscott.com. Raleigh, thank you so much for your time and your patience. I know I'm not the easiest guy to deal with
No, I just got to
sometimes with.
just once again, you multitask so well, Roger. I guess what I try to do is I try to keep you a little bit focused because once again, if we have a chat panel that's open, it's so easy to get distracted by that. And but we get to everybody. We work it out. You get your opportunity to present things, and we get, I think we've answered all the questions that came up in the chat panel. So we haven't, all stones have been turned over.
Good, good. And folks, again, if there's something that comes up, just email me. It may take me a few hours to get back to you, but usually nighttime, morning time, I'm available. Usually when I'm not around here is when I'm not available.
Hmm.
Roger@rogerscott.com. Raleigh, I will see you on Thursday. We have a little heat wave going on here. It's starting to warm up. I'm pretty sure you're starting to get a little warm weather too. We're in May, obviously,
Yes, yes.
And but folks, take it easy. Have a great day, and make sure to drink a lot of liquid so you don't dehydrate. People are getting dehydrated a lot right now. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Take care, Roger. And once again, I want to thank Roger for not only his time, sharing this presentation with us, but more importantly, all the time and the effort that his team went into developing the tools that enable him to read the market the way he does, and ultimately to put together an alert service where he shares with us what he sees are the absolute best trading opportunities day in and day out. So, a couple of things. I did post in here Roger's email address, roger@rogerscott.com. Don't be bashful. Feel free to send him an email on any questions you've got about trades, platforms, strategy, things of that nature. He loves to hear your questions, and you will be amazed at how quickly he responds. Don't ask him questions about, hey, can I get a special price, or how do I make a green par red or whatnot, because he probably doesn't know how to do that. But ask him trade related questions. Ask him the kind of questions that nobody else can answer for you. And he loves to hear from you. I also posted Roger's public Telegram link there. Now, as you may or may not know, I mean, Telegram is free. It's a service that you get for free. And it's like a TV, if you will. You got the TV and now you can add channels to it. Well, Roger's, public Telegram channel is right there for you. And please join because it's well worth it. For example, every morning when Roger analyzes the markets, he'll basically plot for us the key resistance and support levels that he's paying attention to across the indexes that he's tracking and many of the commodity markets that he's looking at as well. In addition to that, he's always updating things that he sees going on in the markets. He'll give us a heads up about things we need to be careful about, opportunities that he sees, and from time to time, he'll post bonus trades in there. But it's well worth joining his public Telegram. Now, the other thing I want to share with you is that this is a live presentation and it is being recorded. And if any of you would like to have a link to a copy of this presentation, I just posted in the chat that we have a Vimeo replay library. And this is where we host, if you will, all of these replays. Now, that will include his morning must-watch shows, plus his midday VIP room and the presentation that we tack on to the back end of it. Now, since this is live, once I sign off today, it'll take about 2 hours for the video to render, and we do a quick edit to it, and then we will post it there. So about 2 hours after we shut down, today's event, complete event, will be posted and be made available to you. The other thing that I've done, folks, is I've created a summary on today's presentation. Now, this is just a very quick walkthrough. I've stripped out all the testimonials. I've stripped out all the marketing stuff here, but I just want to go over the bare bones of the program, which is great for those of you that came late to the webinar, or for those of you that are thinking about an investment and you would just like one more quick refresher as to what this is all about. And then I'll also post the pricing for you. If you've got any questions during my summary, put them in the chat panel and I'll be glad to answer them as soon as I am done. So today's focus was on Roger's Trading Pit, and it's the only place where you're going to get 1 to 2 active alerts per day on stocks that institutional traders are likely buying or selling in real time as it's happening in real time. And I kind of feel like this is all I got to say, because I could turn this around and say, hey, what if you could have somebody that's got 32 years worth of trading experience who's created a very unique tool that has the ability to identify what institutional traders are buying and selling in real time? And then what if he took all that information in, found the best opportunities, and serve those up to you on a silver platter 1 to 2 times a day? Do you think that would be interesting? Do you think that would give you an edge? I think we know the answer to that question. So here's how it works. Roger has created a proprietary scanner that helps him find what institutions are likely buying and selling in real time, and it's a focus on after the first hour of the trading day and then all day long. What he does is he simply pulls up a relative strength scanner, and it runs a relative strength scan for the strongest stocks in the market on a 1 hour time frame. This is how he begins the day. And if he likes what he sees, he sends out an alert, because stocks with the strongest relative strength within the first hour are stocks that institutional algos are likely accumulating. For example, let's take a look at Microsoft on November 6th. Okay, what we can see here is you can see the SPY in blue and Microsoft in green, and we can see it had a strong intraday relative strength. In other words, it was outperforming the SPY. And why was that? Because institutions were heavily accumulating Microsoft stock. In fact, on an hourly relative strength, it showed it was the strongest stock at that point in time in the S&P 500. So what did he do? He sent out an alert at 10:08 that basically said, go long Microsoft. And that's all he has to say, because in this program, you're going to understand exactly what to do. If you're buying the underlying stock, it couldn't be any easier. Just buy it, at the money at that point in time. If you are looking to trade an option, he has a very, very simple formula as to how you would convert that, depending on if you're going to day trade that or swing trade it. But all he has to do is say, go long Microsoft, and you're trained on exactly what to do with that. And sure enough, Microsoft outperformed the SPY by 6 times on this day, and those that participated in this did extremely well. And if we take a look at the live alerts that were issued over the past 30 plus months, we've got a 94.7% win rate and an insane 8.06 profit factor. Almost takes my hard to really to talk about this, because it's just incredible. So there's your win rate. The average return on every single trade is about almost 11%. And when we say the average return, that's net of winners and losers, okay? And once again, profit factor, for those of you that don't know, this means that for every dollar you lose, you make $8.06. And once again, this is with a program that has a win rate of almost 95%. Now, in addition to the alerts, we're also going to include everything that you need to get started with the Trading Pit Getting Started guide. You'll find bonus trading videos about how to balance your positions, bet sizing, and so much more. Once again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, this is an alert service where Roger could just simply send you alerts like go long Microsoft. Then he'll send you an alert that'll say exit Microsoft for a profit. But that's not good enough for Roger. He needs you to know exactly why he decided to send you an alert that says go long Microsoft, and then he's going to train you on exactly what to do when he sends you that alert, not only on the entry and on the exits, and it's all covered in the Getting Started guide. He's also included a 2-part emotional mind trap series, and this is important because, once again, if you can remember, the trading pit is where you want to go if you're looking to be a full-time trader, okay? A full-time trader. And one of the things that's going to be important for you as a full-time trader is that you've got to deal with the one issue that could actually scuttle everything that you're doing, and that's your emotions. because your emotions, if you don't know how to identify them and control them, are going to be your worst enemy, regardless of the strategies and the things that you're using. So, what Roger did is he put these two things together because it's designed to identify those mind traps that you need to be aware of. Because some people don't even recognize these in themselves, but you need to be aware of them. And then there's some tips and techniques on exactly how to repress those so that you can objectively make decisions about entering a trade without fear, staying in a trade appropriately, getting into handling a loss without getting all weirded out about it, and feel comfortable making decisions without having the emotional baggage that can prevent you from entering a trade, getting out of a trade, or even placing a trade based on how you feel about what's going on. And I'm glad he's put that there because this is going to be crucial to your success. He's also going to give you real-time updates. Not only do you get 1 to 2 standard alerts per day in the Telegram channel, but you're going to get breaking news updates as well. And once again, Roger is, spending 70% of his time every day watching the markets and giving you information in the private Telegram channel for the trading pit. So you're going to get alerts to get in and out of the trade. You are going to get screenshots when he sees something with market internals that we need to be aware of, like the Vold is moving straight up and we're in a trade now. Let's hold on to that a little bit longer because there's more meat on the bone. He's going to give you detailed write-ups as to what he sees going on. Why? So you don't have to. You don't need to be looking at Fox News or CNBC or any of that stuff. This is Roger Squawk Box. He's going to be letting you know exactly what you need to know as you're basically looking at the trade opportunities that he's going to be sharing with you. If you have any questions, you've got a VIP level support team. They're available to you from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock Eastern time every day, Monday through Saturday. Yes, they are open on Saturday to answer any questions that you might have. So for everything that you get today, which is the 1 to 2 standard alerts, and we haven't even talked about the fact that you're going to get anywhere from probably 1 to 5 additional bonus trades every day on top of that, but you're going to be getting all of those alerts. You got the emotional mind traps, the private Telegram channel, and our publisher has established that the retail price is $4,995 per year. And that's what you'll see if you go to our website. But for those of you that are here today, we have a special link for you that's going to knock $2,000 right off the price. So the special price we have for you today is $29.95. Okay, and that gives you full access to the program for a year. And this is going to be available today and tomorrow. The price will go up $500 tomorrow night at midnight. Okay, so once again, rogerscott.com/trading. That's where we go. So some frequently asked questions. How many alerts can you expect today? Well, so far we've been averaging 1 to 2 standard trades every day with a pretty incredible success rate. And once again, folks, that does not include anywhere from 1 to 5 bonus trades that you're going to get on top of this. And another question, is this only for day trades? Because we showed you a lot of examples that were day trades. And it's like, no, we do swing trades in this program as well. As a matter of fact, about 80% of the people that get our alerts where Roger day trades them, those folks hold them overnight and make more money than we do by exiting the next day, holding them as a swing. And the reason that works is not luck. It's not luck whatsoever. Roger will only select opportunities that begin life in his mind as a great swing trade. Okay. And he looks at that on a daily basis. Then he switches to his intraday 5-minute charts and he looks for an appropriate entry. And once he sees an entry that makes sense and he goes, go long Microsoft, we're in that trade. Now, let's say, for example, that happened at 10:30 in the morning. And let's say it's 12 noon and Microsoft is up 18%. Roger will look at that and go like, hey, I've got a lot of size on this. I'm happy with 18%. He's going to say, exit Microsoft, but, hold a few more positions because this might be a great swing. Many people will hold that longer, and then they'll send Roger an email and say, Roger, you got it at 18%. I held on to it overnight and I walked away with 38%. That never hurts Roger's feelings. He's happy for you when that happens. We all make exit decisions on our own. But the point is this, is that all of these trades can be held as swing trades as well. And we just recently added scalps to the program, which are very, very quick trades and have been doing extremely well. These sniper scalps are fast moving trades. They usually take about 5 to 15 minutes to play out. And Roger has a very specific setup that he looks for on this on an intraday basis. And when he sees high volume activity and an opportunity, boom, that's going to be a sniper trade. And these have been doing extremely well. And as I mentioned, you can expect about 1 to 3 bonus sniper scalps a day. So we got 1 to 2 regular trades, 1 to 3 sniper scalps. And then, of course, that doesn't include an occasional debit spread or a time spread that comes in on top of that. Is this small account friendly? We think so, because based on our audit of all the trades that we've taken, the average cost of an option trade is about 174 bucks. Okay. And from that standpoint, we think it is small account friendly. You can do this in a $3,000 account. And for those of you that are concerned about pattern day trading rule, don't be. You shouldn't be, because number one, you can day trade all day long every day in a cash account without any problems. And after all, we are largely buying calls and buying puts, so there's no requirement to trade in margin. The pattern day trading rule has been $25,000 if you want to day trade in a margin account. Okay. And as of the 15th of April, okay, just a few weeks ago, the SEC has lowered that level from 25,000 to 2,000, and now the brokers are all scrambling to put that in place. So whether you day trade or swing trade, there are really no objections to you taking advantage of the alerts that you're going to be getting. How do I receive the alerts in the trading pit? They're all going to come to you in a private Telegram channel. And we love Telegram for 2 reasons. Number one, it's fast, and it needs to be. When Roger says go along Microsoft, you need to get that within seconds. If he were to send that to you in a text message or an email, depending on where you are, it could take minutes, fives of minutes, tens of minutes to get there. And that's way too long, way too long. So you need something fast. The second reason why we like Telegram is that as long as you have a device like your phone that you can get on the internet, you could be anywhere in the world. I could be vacationing with my brother in the south of France this summer, and an alert's going to come on my phone telling me to go long Microsoft. All I do is open up my broker's application. I basically buy a call. I look to go out 4 to 8 days. I look for a delta of 70 and I enter the trade. And then I just wait for the exit alert to come from Roger and I get out of the trade. And I did that when I'm with my brother in the south of France because I've got a phone that's got Telegram on it. So wherever you are in the world, as long as you've got something that can get on the internet, you're going to get an alert and you're going to get it quickly. We also have a lot of support for you. One of the key things is the customer support live. It's available to you from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time every day, Monday through Friday. So that's 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week. And our hosts there are Cam and Gustavo. And those guys, they understand our products and services like the back of their hand, number one. Number two, they're traders like you and me, so they understand where we're coming from. Number three, they've worked with thousands of traders and answered tens of thousands of questions. So more than likely, any question that you have, they've probably heard it and they're well prepared to answer it. And number four, Cam and Gustavo only have one objective, and that's to make sure that they answer your questions and make you and help you become extremely comfortable with the investment that you've made in our products and services. And they are great at that. So once again, rogerscott.com/trading. This is what the landing page looks like. And once again, you see Trading Pit 1 year for $29.95. When you sign up for that, you're going to see an option if you want to go for lifetime. And I'll post that pricing here in a minute and give you that lifetime price. Now, here's a screenshot, folks, of what your members area looks like. So when you sign up and you go to our one-click membership area, you're going to see the Getting Started guide, which is a great place to go to get, a grounding in the fundamentals of the program. This is where you go to join Roger's private Trading Pit Telegram service. There are some classes. This is if you want to attend a live mastermind event. Roger holds about one of those per quarter. Any of those masterminds that are recorded, this is your library for that. You're going to want to go there, setting up your Telegram. Everything that you need is in your membership area. So once again, this concludes my summary. And let me go up here and see if I can answer any questions that you might have. Okay, and so once again, as I posted there in the chat, this is a live presentation. And if you'd like to have a link to a copy of this recording, just go to that video, that Vimeo link. As a matter of fact, bookmark that link because that address doesn't change. It doesn't change whatsoever. So you can always go there to see replays of Roger's presentations. Okay, so I don't see any questions here in the chat. So obviously we must have done a great job answering your questions. And I'd like to conclude by saying that, Roger and Matt and I, we know your time is valuable. And we certainly hope that you got benefit from this presentation. And we also know that you're here looking for an edge in the markets. And so if you think about what it is that Roger shared with you today, he's basically saying, look, guys, I've been trading the markets for 32 years. He says, and I have always wanted to have a tool that can help me find what institutions are buying and selling in real time. Because based on my experience, if I know what that is, I know I can make money in the markets. And so the Pro Trader dashboard was the tool that was created to give him that information. And then he said, what I'd like to do then is I'd like to create an alert service where I can basically use my experience in that tool to identify 1 to 2 standard trades and 1 to 3 additional bonus trades every day, because this is how I trade the markets. And if somebody wants to be a full-time trader and learn how to trade the markets the way I do, from that standpoint, this is the perfect program for that. And as far as, pricing is concerned here, guys, let me post this for you. I neglected to do that. The trading pit for 1 year is $29.95. If you'd like to go lifetime, the special price for that is $49.90. If you think about that for a minute, the 1 year price is $29.95. Let's just round that up to $3,000. So if you come to the end of the year and say, man, I'd like to do this for another year, well, you're going to be looking at $6,000. Lifetime there is for 5,000. So lifetime is actually less than the cost of having a second year, making that a great deal in my opinion. And then for those of you that are interested in the optional Pro Trader dashboard, the 1 year price for that is $19.95. The lifetime price is $29.92, and there is a guarantee with that as well. So the difference between the two programs is that the trading pit is an alert service. This is where Roger is serving up trades to you on a silver platter. He's giving you a fish. The Pro Trader dashboard is the tool, all the education and knowledge that you'll need to learn how to fish like Roger does, and you can feed yourself. Those are the two programs that are there, and that's the pricing for you. So once again, thank you so much for your time today. We have about an hour and a half left in the trading session. So for those of you that are looking to place trades this afternoon, I hope it's according to your trading plan. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your afternoon and evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next edition of the VIP Trade Room. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.